Yeah, I know. Shalom, shalom, brother Jonathan. Shalom, brother Don Israel. Shalom, shalom, sister Deborah, sister Yaya. How y'all doing? Yeah, we trying to stay warm. How about y'all, sis? Y'all staying warm? I know, brother Jonathan, them they been having cold down up there, so I know I kind of used to it. I hope brothers and sisters also staying warm. Uh, I know Dallas was under what Texas was under freeze weather. I think coming in tonight, Saturday night, so on and so forth. Uh, Damn, brother Jonathan says -2 degrees up there. Oh man, yeah, I can't do them northern states, man. Hell no. Shalom, shalom, brother Daniel and sister Mary Houston. Shalom, family. How y'all doing? House of brother Daniel in the house. Yeah, that's what I said. Woo. Now you know I'm a summer baby anyway, man. I can't deal with that cold weather. That's my wife. She like that cold weather. She be tripping with that. I can't do that. Now that ain't what the Bible say, Alistair. Cause one time you come with all sweet words, and then in 30 minutes you'll be spelling nigger on the damn comment. So man, we ain't trying to hear that. Shalom, brother Jose. How you doing? I hope brothers and sisters had a great Sabbath yesterday. And we had a great Q&A. Uh, had a great Q&A. Like we say, we kind of continue in that same spirit, brothers and sisters. Look at it. Yeah, we know it. We know it. We know it, man. Though they speak peaceable words, but war is in their heart, man. So just letting some brothers and sisters get up in here. Shalom, shalom, brother Dexter. Dexter, how you doing, Doc? Yeah, I know I watched a little bit of the video Ak had sent me about him going in on the Mormons. Good video. Nah, I didn't make you do that. What you mean? I'm not a puppet master. I don't have strings connected to you to make you type and use with your fingers. That's already in your heart. That's all that is. That's something that's been there from the beginning. All praise. Like we all are too, enduring in this truth. Like we always say, brothers and sisters, got any questions, any comments? Brothers want to bring something out. You need to click to the link or whatnot. Hey, feel free to do those things, man. That's what we're here for. First off, we give all honor and praises to the Most High and to His Son Yahushua, Captain Benaniah, with the battle axes of the Most High, coming to you with another first day of the week Q&A. Like we say, to start brothers and sisters off in their week in the spirit, kind of continuing those things from a great Q&A that Captain Jeroboam had. Just kind of want to continue in that same spirit. We used to have one. I know years ago we had a list of all of them. Captain Maccabees. I'll try to have to find one. If I'm not mistaken, I think I have a packet of it, because we literally did have all 1,613 laws. I mean, 613. Y'all know what I mean. Sister Hanaya. Damn it. Used to have a packet, so I just try to search for it. But like how we kind of tell brothers and sisters, just go through those laws within the first 5 books. Like we say, when you see thou shalt not, that's a good way to kind of get you built up too. You have a lot of them. We tell brothers and sisters, a lot of them is really going into the sacrificial law. You're reading the book of Leviticus on how they had laws concerning each sacrifice, whether it was a burnt sacrifice and sword or swords. Let's kind of touch on that right quick. So this is something that Christians, they really don't understand. Like when you see in the book of the law where it says thou shalt and thou shalt not, those are all commandments, telling us things that we can and cannot do. Like I was just discussing, when you read the book of Leviticus, you see a lot of them having to do with different type of ways that you prepare the sacrifices. Those are pertaining to those laws. So let's go to the book of Leviticus chapter. Let's start at 1 verse 2. Let's start at 1 verse 1. This is the book of Leviticus chapter 1 and verse 1. And the Lord called unto Moses and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation. So this is Moses talking to the tabernacle of the congregation, talking to the Israelites, saying, speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them. And that is another precept that brothers and sisters can put with the congregation being the children of Israel. No other place do you hear about the congregation referring to any other nations. Precepting with Psalms. Let's get that right quick. Hold that precept. I just want y'all to have this precept. Psalms chapter, see if I can find it right quick. 74 and verse 2. Just another precept that y'all can have showing you that the congregation is the children of Israel. Shalom, shalom, Ramonica Way. Shalom, Sister Danielle. How you doing, sis? This is the book of Psalms, chapter 74 and verse 2. And it reads, Remember thy congregation, which thou hast purchased of old, the rod of thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed, this Mount Zion, wherein thou hast dwelt. So in here is literally telling you that the congregation is Zion or Israel. Zion is another surname for Israel. So we see in the scriptures, even where we at right now in the book of Leviticus, the congregation always refers to the nation of Israel. We got to stop believing what these Christianity religions and doctrines are teaching our people, coming with this replacement theology. Now, replacement theology is where the Christianity church or Christian apologetics, like they like to be called, is saying that the children of Israel is no longer God's chosen people, but now he replaced them with the multi-ethnic church. And that's nowhere found in the Bible. We're trying to kill all doctrines with that by the spirit of the power of the Most High and His Son, Yahushua. Shalom, shalom, Officer Jacob. How you doing, Doc? Let's go back to the book of Leviticus. And we're just kind of showing you just certain laws pertaining to the sacrificial law and the burnt offerings. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 1 and verse 1. And the Lord called unto Moses and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, if any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd and of the flock. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. So it's literally showing you on how to make certain sacrifices. Now you had a burnt offering which you could give. It was like what this is going into on how what type of burnt offering you had to bring and how to be able to set these things up. That's what a lot of these 613 laws goes into as well. Let's jump over. We just kind of just skim through some. So we got the book of Leviticus chapter 1 and verse, we'll just start at verse 14. And this is going into also the burnt sacrifice. Let me see. So even when we read all the way down, it's literally showing you how to prepare. I'm going to start at verse 13. The book of Leviticus chapter 1 verse 13. But he shall wash the inwards and the legs with water, and the priest shall bring it all and burn it upon the altar. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. Because the Most High God loved those sweet savors when we did it in righteousness. Sweet savors, that smoke that goes up to him. Most High God senses those things, man. And it's a great thing and a great honor to the Most High. All sacrifices wasn't sacrifices to atone for sins. That's kind of what is also covered in the book of Leviticus 2. Let's jump down to chapter 2 and verse 1. The book of Leviticus chapter 2 and verse 1. And when any will offer a meat offering unto the Lord, his offering shall be a fine flour, and he shall pour oil upon it, and put frankincense thereon. And he shall bring it to Aaron the son's priest, and he shall take thereout his handful of the flour thereof, and the oil thereof, and with all the frankincense thereof. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it upon the altar, to be an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Lord. So you have us doing what? Showing us how to prepare a meat offering. You jumping down to verse 5. And let's see who this sounds like. Verse 5. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baking in a pan, it shall be a fine flour unleavened, mingled with oil. Thou shalt part it in pieces and pour oil thereon. It is a meat offering. And if thy oblation be a meat offering breaking in a frying pan, it shall be made a fine flour with oil. Now, who does this sound like? What nation of people is known for doing what? Frying things in a frying pan with oil and what? Flour upon it. I mean, come on, when we start to literally read these things, we can start to literally see who these people are. Ain't nobody making and frying no chicken like Judah, like Israel, man. Now you got damn Moab, man, taking a damn recipe and making their own things with this Louisiana chicken, man. That chicken is pretty good, and you know they done stole that damn recipe for Israelites, man. You know, I can't even lie, man. These nations, boy, they'll steal every damn thing from us. So we have a burnt sacrifice. You have the meat offering. Let's jump down to verse 14. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 2 and verse 14. And if thou offer a meat offering of thy first fruits unto the Lord, thou shalt offer for the meat offering of thy first fruits green ears of the corn, dried by the fire, even corn beaten of full ears. And thou shalt put oil upon it, and lay frankincense thereon. It is a meat offering. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it, part of the beating corn thereof, and part of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. It is a offering made by fire unto the Lord. So now we have the what? Well, we gave our first fruits offering. This is another type of offering that we gave up to the Most High. So when we're reading a lot of the laws contained in 613 laws, a lot of those laws have to do with the sacrificial law. We jump over and get some more. Let's go to, what do I want? You have like a trespass offering. Let's jump over to Leviticus chapter 6 and verse 5. Let's just get straight to the point. So you had offerings on what we had to do for certain sins. I'll start up at verse 1. This is the book of Leviticus chapter 6 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, if a soul sin and commit a trespass against the Lord, and lie unto his neighbor in that which was delivered him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or had deceived his neighbor. So this is going into if a brother sinned by deceiving his brother, taking something that wasn't his, in fellowship, or a brother gave you something to keep and you misused that thing or kept it for yourself. Verse 3, or have found that which was lost and lied concerning it, and swear it falsely. In any of all these that a man doeth, sinning thereof, then it shall be because he had sinned and is guilty, that he shall restore that which he had took violently away, or the thing which he had deceitfully gotten, or that which was delivered to him to keep, or the lost thing which he had found, or all about which he had sworn falsely. He shall even restore it in the principal, and shall add the fit part more thereto, and give it unto him to whom he appertaineth in the day of his trespass offering. So in chapter 6, we see on how to do what? Give a trespass offering. You know, when you done basically transgressed against your brother, he gave you something to keep and you didn't give it back, or you kept it, or you misused it, maybe destroyed it, or like we say, any of these things you dealt falsely with it. Excuse me. You lied to them about these things. It's showing you how to prepare a trespass offering to be forgiven of their sin concerning your brother. Shalom, shalom, brother Ray Israel, Battle Axes of Minnesota. Shalom, mother Mariah. How you doing, sis? So we see even that. Then when we jump down, you have verse 24 also going into a sin offering, trespass offering. These things kind of go into the same thing. So you have many different types of offerings that we gave. Even when we jump over to Leviticus chapter 7, verse 25, how we gave the fat basically as an offering as well. So you have many different offerings that pertain to the sacrificial law. A lot of times, brothers and sisters think that we just atone and didn't give like free will offerings. We gave free will offerings. We gave drink offerings. When you keep reading, the book of Leviticus is a good book to read to understand the different sacrifices and different offerings that we made. You know, it just wasn't always about us sinning and giving a sin offering. No, you can give a free will offering. You know, Most High God loved those gifts. Free will offering, we gave drink offerings, and so on and so forth. First fruits offering, you know. So there's many things. Shalom, shalom, sister Najaya. How you doing? How you doing, sis? So like we say, it's the Q&A. Any brothers and sisters got any questions or anything, feel free to bring them out while we cover other matters. I know Brother Don Israel was asking, like, do we have a packet basically with all 613 laws, statutes, and commandments? And I know I have one in my backpack. So yeah, just reach out to me. I'm gonna see if I can find it first and see if I can send that over to you. Like I said, those things are pivotal, but to really understand these things, you want to go through what? Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Leviticus, Deuteronomy. You know, those are where the laws are contained. And then you do have other laws throughout other of the scriptures. But those are where the bulk of the laws are. Like we say, we jump over to Leviticus chapter 22 and verse 21. And it reads, so you also had peace offerings. This is the book of Leviticus chapter 22 and verse 21. And whosoever offered a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Lord to accomplish his vow, or a free will offering in beeves or sheets, it shall be perfect to be accepted. There shall be no blemish therein, blind or broken, maimed or having a wound, or scurvy or scab. Ye shall not offer these unto the Lord, nor make an offering by fire of them upon the altar of the Lord. Meaning the meat that you would bring as a free will offering or a peace offering, it have to be a perfect sheep. You can't be bringing that sheep with the gangster link, one horn, one eye, one hoof. No, these things have to be perfect and in good shape so it could be a good offering to the Most High God. So we also see where we have peace offerings as well as, like we say, free will offerings. I know I pray, like we say, that brothers and sisters are standing in the spirit in these last days, especially going through this winter. We know winter can be especially harsh, and even that's why Christ warned us about these things in the book of Luke. Let's get there right quick. Pray that when Jacob's trouble comes, that it's not in the winter. You know, Christ warned us about these things. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse. I'm going to start at verse 20. Get the context. The book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. So this is Christ warning the Israelites about the 70 AD invasion of Jerusalem by the Romans. Titus and his son Vespasian. These were Roman emperors and generals coming to do what? To destroy Israel. Verse 21. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains. So Christ was telling us, when you see these things about to happen, y'all flee into the mountains. What mountains? These talking about the mountains of Africa, or the Atlas Mountains. Whenever we got into trouble, brothers and sisters, we always did what? Fled to Africa. To do what? To blend in among the other dark nations, among Ham. Further letting you know that the original Egyptians are dark-skinned people. And we know during the Ptolemaic era, that's when the population being overtaken by the Greeks starting to lighten up their population, like Cleopatra and them and so on and so forth. It says, verse 21, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out. So Christ was warning, if y'all in Jerusalem, leave, because the Romans are coming to destroy this place for the wickedness of our people. It says, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too, because even during this time you had Israelites that were scattered. Not all Israel stayed in Israel. We had Israel still scattered in other parts of the four corners of the earth. We still had that. So even during that time where we still had Israel and Jerusalem, many of our people still didn't stay there, but they would still do what? Come up to celebrate the what? The Passover, the Feast of Tabernacles, and then go back to their homes. Verse 22, it says, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled, meaning the curses in Deuteronomy 28, verses 49 through 52. These are the things that are written therein, that all things may be fulfilled. So a lot of times when brothers and sisters see fulfilled in the scriptures, it's always a prophecy, 9 times out of 10, where you can find that, where it was being prophesied. And sometimes you'll see where Christ is showing where it was fulfilled. But remember, not all things have been fulfilled, brothers and sisters. So we got examples like Isaiah 63, where Christ is coming back to kill Edomites. We hadn't seen that. And seen many other prophecies like Ezekiel chapter 37, with us literally being put back together officially, and then Christ being appointed one head. So there's many things that still have to be fulfilled. It says, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But warn to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be a great distress in the land and upon this people. Meaning what? When these people were overtaken in 70 AD, Christ was warning them, man, it was going to be hard on women with children that have little babies that are still sucking the breast. Just imagine us being surrounded by war and you trying to breastfeed your child. You trying to calm them down. Little children, they don't know what's going on. They see the destruction. Remember, children just want to play, so you got to calm them down. You still got to stay strong in that situation. That's a hard time to be in. And these times are coming back up, Israel, especially during the time of Jacob's trouble. That's why it's pivotal that brothers and sisters go through these things and understand what our people went through during those times, so we'll know how to move in these times. Verse 23, but warn to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be a great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So we see Christ is literally letting us know that is what in our land, Gentiles in our land. And guess what? That's the time that we're in right now, brothers and sisters. We're in the time of the Gentiles, because Israel is not the rightful nation ruling this planet Earth, because this planet Earth is in total darkness and in total wickedness. It's in gross darkness, man. So we see those things, man. I know Aqua's asking, Shalom, Captain, can you break down Ecclesiastes 5 and 8 and Isaiah 59 and 16? Let's go there right quick. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 8, and it reads, if thou see the oppression of the poor, and violent perverting of judgment, and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter, for he that is higher than the highest regarded, and there be higher than they. And then, this is a great precept. I'm going to read this again. It says, if thou see the oppression of the poor. Who is the poor according to the Bible? Israel is the poor. Let's get there right quick. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 32. Let's see who the poor is according to the Bible. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 32. And it reads, What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? That the Lord had founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. So first of all, we have to understand who the poor is. The poor is going into what? The nation of Israel. Let's go back. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 8. If thou seest the oppression of the poor, and that's what we see today. We see the oppression of the poor of our people. And it's not just talking about financially, even though that is big. Shalom, shalom, brother Judah Israel. No, not per se. We'll touch on that as well, brother Judah. But we do see the oppression of the poor. We see mainly our people that are on the bottom of society. Other nations will say, well, you see poor Edomites too. Not to the conditions that we're talking about. We're not just talking about financially. Most importantly, we're talking about spiritually poor and mentally poor, because we don't know who the hell we are. We don't know what our God requires of us. A lot of our people think that the Most High God is white. So they're totally bugged out of their mind. They don't know that we have to keep the commandments. So it's more so going to us spiritually being poor. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 8, again from the top. If thou seest the oppression of the poor and violent perverting of judgment, and that's what we see. Esau is the violent. And we see that they constantly do what? Pervert judgment. Prime example, we just seen it with what's that actor name that played Kang? Jonathan Majors. You seen the verdict that he got. Not only did we see the verdict that we got, they also played that footage of him literally running away from that Edomite woman. Now, if she felt threatened, why in the hell is she chasing him down the damn highway? That makes no goddamn sense. That is what you literally call perverting of judgment. But there's also a judgment placed upon him for him doing what? Dating outside his race. Going against what? The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3 on down. So we see that it swung both ways, but the point that we wanted to make is how they perverted that judgment. They had all the evidence that they needed to do what? Not convict that brother. It was plenty of evidence, man. How she basically snuck back into his place after the club and then brought up a false report of how he put his hands on her. Then you also have the account of the damn driver saying that she was the aggressor. I mean, what more do you need? That should have been an open and shut case. But since he's a black man dating Esau, they was trying to make an example out of him, man. It says, let's go back, verse 8, and perverting of judgment and justice in a province, because this technically is a province. Province is an area of land that's controlled by a nation of people, under a king, under a government, under a particular rulership. It says, if we see those things, it says, marvel not. And that's why when we see that, brothers and sisters, don't marvel, because we see injustice done to our people. First of all, we got to understand that we're not in our kingdom. Second of all, we have to understand that our people are not keeping God's laws, statutes, and justice. Laws, statutes, and commandments, Salaki. So we have to understand, don't marvel at those things. Meaning what? Think deep upon it. Yes, it pisses us off. Don't get me wrong. It pisses us the hell off. But we totally understand and should know, if you have an understanding of the scriptures, why those things are happening. This is what this is going into. It says, marvel not at the matter, for he that is higher than the highest regarded, meaning the Most High God sees all these things. Matter of fact, the Most High God is the one that is allowing these things to happen. That's why he's basically telling us, don't marvel at that matter, man. These things has to be played out in his time and by his will, to bring up these accounts against Esau in the end, man. Most High God see all the things that he's doing, because the Most High God has set him up to be the wicked, man. Hold that precept. Let's go to the book of Psalms 17. Brothers and sisters should know where we're going. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse 13. And it reads, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So we see that Esau acts as the sword of judgment for the Most High, punishing people when we do what? Disobey his commandments. So a lot of times when we see our brothers and sisters going through these things, we hate to see it. But brothers and sisters shouldn't be surprised, because 9 times out of 10, our people are not keeping the commandments. It says, let's go back and read that last part, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 8, the bottom part, the last part. And there be higher than they. So we see how the Most High God has his angels that are seeing everything that is going on, and ultimately he sees everything that's going on. That's what that's going into. The context is, don't marvel at those things, man. Don't be surprised when those things happen. We hate to see it. We hate to see our people getting gunned down in the streets, man. But the Bible is telling, don't marvel at it, man, like it's some great thing. No, us in the truth, we understand why these things are going on. We suffer because we break God's commandments. Let's get there. Let's go to the book of Daniel's. Brought this out at camp yesterday. Daniel's chapter 9 and verse 11. We suffer because of our sins. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. So the curses are upon us. One of the curses in there that, guess what? These other nations will be ruling over us. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, they that hate you shall rule over you. So don't marvel at those things. It says, and he had confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that had judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven had not been done as had been done upon Jerusalem. So we see these things. We're going through these things because we transgress his laws. Let's get another precept. Let's go to the book of Leviticus 26. And these are precepts that brothers and sisters should know. It's the book of Leviticus chapter 26 and verse. Bear with me, brothers and sisters. Okay, yeah, I'm in the right one. The book of Leviticus chapter 26. I want to get straight to the point. The book of Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 16, and it reads, I also, verse 15, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that you will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague, that shall consume the eyes, and sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursue it. So even jumping back up to verse 16, where it says, that shall consume the eyes. Our eyes are consumed with the injustice that we see amongst our people. Our eyes are consumed with those things, man. Sorrow of heart, our mind aches. Like, why is this happening? We talking about brothers and sisters that are not in the truth. They wonder why these things happen. Brothers in the truth, yes, we do complain. Sisters in the truth, yes, we do feel for them. But ultimately, we know that they're going through the judgment because we break God's commandments. And God is a man of his word. He said that he was going to do that to us if we broke him. Guess what? We have to pay for those things. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 59 and verse 16. The book of Isaiah is a great, great book to read. Isaiah was going through the Assyrian captivity during the times of Hezekiah, kind of overlapping the Babylonian captivity a little bit. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 16, and it reads, and he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercession before his arm. Therefore, his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness, it sustained him. So we see, let's jump up to get a little bit context, because we know a lot of scriptures are referring back or making reference to Christ. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 1, and it reads, behold, the Lord's hand is not short, that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear. So the Most High God is saying that his arm is not short that he cannot save, or that the Most High God is not hearing our prayers. But a lot of times, even during this time, our people was going off. They was going off. So the Most High God literally had to do what he had to do to try to get us back in order. Many of what we go through today, a lot of times brothers and sisters are going through things because they are breaking God's commandments. And they have gotten counsel after counsel after counsel on how to handle these things, and they still don't do it right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Adelia, shalom, Sister Talia. How y'all doing, sisters? And they still don't do those things right. So the Most High God has to bring out judgment because of my years being in the truth, my short 10 years of being in the truth. I have seen it. I used to, how can I say this? Was almost like the real super nice guy. Won't, and it's nothing wrong with brothers getting the love of the congregation. That's what the scriptures say. But you have to understand that it's a fine line between playing with judgment and trying to be brothers and sisters friends versus telling them the truth. A lot of times brothers and sisters won't tell each other the truth because they're afraid of losing their friend. Well, we're talking about a friend and a family. A friend and family should tell you the truth, man. So we know a lot of times when truth comes out, a lot of times you may lose friends, But as by being leaders, we can't give a damn about that because we're literally out there trying to save brothers and sisters' souls. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what the Lord is trying to tell you, and that's it. And a lot of times, like I say, going back to this, the Most High God has to punish us for us to literally get the idea. And a lot of times, punishment and judgment is the best teacher. That's the best teacher. We can do so much with, suspensions here and there, but no, when the Most High God brings out his judgment, that ultimately is the best teachers. So a lot of times when brothers and sisters are being hard-headed, there's no other way to go through it than to face the judgments of the Most High. And it is what it is. Because the Most High God is getting sick and tired of us playing these games. Let's go back. Let's jump down to verse 10. Because this is the Most High God doing what? Bringing judgment upon us for what we are doing. Jump down to verse 10. It says, the book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 10. We grope for the wall like the blind. Going to what? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 29. We grope and trying to find our way. Like how we doing today. Since we broke the commandments, that's why people in all type of doctrines, all type of religions, these are the judgments that we must face. But ultimately, if we pray and repent, the Most High God will send a hand to save us. That's the point of this chapter. This point is going into the judgments that he brought out to us. But if we wake up and repent, turn back to the commandments, he will send Christ to save us. Verse 10 from the top. It's the book of Isaiah 59 and verse 10. We grope for the wall like the blind. We grope as if we have no eyes. We stumble at noonday as in the night. We are in desolate places as dead men. Let's get that precept. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy because this is the curse. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 29. This is the book of Deuteronomy. Make sure y'all write that precept down. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. This is a heavy, heavy scripture right here, man. Precept and what we just read in Isaiah 59 and 10. This is what the Most High God is saying. We're going to only be oppressed and spoiled. We're not going to know who we are. The understanding of the Bible is going to be taken away from us. The understanding of how the world works is going to be taken away from us. And that's what you see today. Remember, these curses are like a ring, meaning they go around and they come right back around. So we were going through the same thing during the time of the Assyrian captivity, which was what year? What year was the Assyrian captivity, brothers and sisters? Y'all know how we get down here. Yeah, we pray everybody to stand warm too, sis. Shalom, Brother Crypto Brinks. Shalom, Sister Sapphire. Shalom, King Chazan. Shalom to you, Ox, man. We pray everybody is staying warm. Hope that y'all have enough food. All praise, Sister Talia, quick on the trigger, 720 BC. All praises, sis. So in there taking notes, like you say, brothers and sisters, take those notes. We go over these things because we want brothers to understand the chronological order of the Bible and put things in perspective. So we see these things, man. I know Brother Dexter putting a great precept up in there, Isaiah 40 and 10. And we're going to get that precept too. Let's go back. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 10. We grope for the wall like the blind, and we grope at night. Besides, and we grope as if we had no eyes. Because when you're groping, when you can't see, you feeling for your way. The Most High God is using this as a similitude for our people. When we're spiritually blind, we don't know who we are. We ask our people, what's your nationality? They say black. We say, brother, that's a color in the crayon box. Show us the land of black. Well, I'm Afro-American. Well, brother, that come from two white men. Well, then I'm Negro. Brother, that just mean black again. So what is your race according to the Bible? That's how people are spiritually blind. It says, verse 10 again from the top, for we grope for the wall like the blind, and we grope as if we had no eyes. We stumble at noonday as in the night. We are in desolate places as dead men. And that's what we are. We are spiritually dead because they're walking around. But if you don't know who you are, you don't know your nationality, you don't know that you got to keep God's laws, statutes, commandments, you just spiritually dead. You may have all the money in the world like Oprah Winfrey, but if she don't know who she is, guess what? She's not gonna get the kingdom, man. And the Most High God is not dealing with her. Michael Jordan's, all these prestigious people, black entertainers that's around her, black people, Denzel Washington. A lot of these people know that they Israelites, but they're not striving to keep the commandments, so they're gonna receive their judgment too. It says, verse 11. We roar all like bears and mourn sore like doves. We look for judgment, but there is none. For salvation, but it is far off from us. So they was looking for the salvation of the Lord, but guess what? Isaiah was prophesying that it was far off from us. Let's jump down. Verse 14. And judgment is turned away backward, and justice afar off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. Meaning what? Even the rulers during this time was not bringing out righteous judgment. So for them not bringing out righteous judgment, being hypocrites, the Most High God was what? Going to judge them. Let's keep reading. This is the point that we want. Verse 16, and he saw that there was no man and wondered that there was no intercession. Therefore his arm brought him salvation unto him, and his righteousness, it sustained him. So we see that this same phraseology in the book of Isaiah 63 is being quoted. We see that, guess what, eventually the Most High God, and this is similar to for Christ, the Most High God is eventually going to send Christ to do what? To bring us out of this salvation. Remember, it's talking about in that time, but on a deeper level, it's talking about this time. Because guess what, brothers and sisters, we're still going through these things as well. Brothers and sisters putting great precepts up in there too. We're going to get some of those precepts. So this is what this is going into, Officer Yaakov, going into Christ. We're going to keep reading verse 17. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and an helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing, and he was clad with zeal as a cloak. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies the islands. He will repay recompense. And this is reiterated in what? The book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 14 on down. This is where Paul was literally pulling this from. So we always tell brothers and sisters, they're thinking that the New Testament is something totally different from the Old, when they're basically reciting the Old Testament, saying it in different clever ways. So this is literally going into Christ. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, boy, this is cold. Even when we read all down, we want to read it too. I ain't gonna lie. Verse 19, we got to. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. Meaning what? Over here in America, when Christ comes back, and from the rising of the sun, which is Japan. It says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up the standard against him. What is the standard? The Bible. Whenever they come in with the flood is going into the lies that the other nations try to put on our people. Every time they come with lies, what do? We use the Bible, brothers and sisters, and it tears down all the lies that we have been taught. Christ is white. Jesus is white. The angels is white. The laws is done away with. We can eat pork. We no longer have to keep Passover. We can celebrate Christmas. We can celebrate Thanksgiving. No, the Bible is swallowing up all these lies, man. Let's get there what Ox said. Isaiah 40 and 10. Then we get what House of Brother Daniel put out there. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 10. Behold, the Lord will come with a strong hand, and his arm shall rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd, and he shall gather the lambs with his arm, and carry them in his bosom, and shall gently lead those that are with young. This is going into what? Christ. When the Most High God sends them back. The Most High God rules with Christ. He used Christ as a vessel of righteousness to, guess what? Enact his will upon the planet Earth. And this is what this is going into. That's a heavy, heavy precept. That's exactly right. Strength and power as an arm represents. I know sis put in there Job chapter 5, verse 14. You understand that, Officer Yaakov? Oh, praise. Let's get that in the book of Job. This is the book of Job, chapter 5 and verse 14, and it reads, they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. That's a great precept. That's a great precept that brothers and sisters can put with what? The curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 29. And also with what we just came from Isaiah 59 and verse 11, was it? No, verse 10. So those are great precepts that sis put in there. No, sis said Job chapter 12 and verse 25. Let's get that. This is the book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 25. Brother Daniel said 12 and 25. The book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 25. It says, they grope in the darkness without light, and he maketh them to stagger like a drunken man. Those are great, great precepts. A lot of times when brothers and sisters want to go deeper into the precepts, a lot of places where it's deep precepts are the book of Job, the wisdom of Solomon, the book of Sirach. Those are great, great places for deeper precepts. Psalms, so on and so forth. The Proverbs, those are great, great precepts. Yeah, those are great precepts. House of Brother Daniel. Shalom, shalom, Sister Nakuk back Israel. How you doing? Yeah, that'll be a great presentation. I know I seen Brother Hassad from Sakari. He was touching on that this Sabbath. I saw that while I was watching it at work, making a great reference to that in the book of Revelation, going into the East and the West. It was a great, great class. All praise. I know Brother Crypto Brinks was putting in, you put in Shalom, Brother Damien. How you doing? Matthews 12 and 36. So yeah, like I say, any other questions, put them in the chat, man. Those are great questions that Officer Yaakov asks, and great precepts that brothers and sisters added to it. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgments. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. And that's a great precept, because we see what Esau is doing. They bring up words and speak against this word daily, man. When we out there teaching on the streets, teaching our people that God's laws are done away with, that the Jew and the Gentile can both be saved, when they don't even understand the full meaning of the word Gentile. And I know that was something that Soldier Ezra was asking about. Kind of go over the Jew, neither Jew nor Greek, and that's very pivotal for brothers and sisters understanding in this truth when it comes to the New Testament, because that's one of the books that they always try to catch us up in. There's neither Jew nor Greek. That's why we always tell brothers and sisters, In Paul's epistles, you always want to do what? Go to the beginning of the chapter. He's literally telling you who the author is and the audience that he's writing to. So those things are pivotal. Let's touch that right quick. Let's go to the book of Galatians. We have full breakdowns on those things. I know we just kind of touch on it a little bit, but we always have full breakdowns on those classes. Go to Battle Axe, type those things in. Shalom, brother Israel, how you doing? All praise, This is the book of Galatians, chapter 1. We're going to start at 1 verse 1. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 1 verse 1, and it reads, Paul, an apostle, not of men, neither by man, but by Yahushua Christ and God the Father, who raised him from the dead, and all the brethren which are with me unto the churches of Galatia. So we have to understand that, guess what? One of the punishments or curses that Israel had to go through is that for breaking God's commandments, we were scattered to four corners of the earth. Meaning we had Israelites that were in Galatia. Galatia today would be in the modern day land of Turkey, on basically the western coast of Turkey. You had those churches lined up, the church of Colossus, the church of Ephesus, the church of Galatia. Those churches were lined up on the west coast of modern day Turkey today. And it was Israelites scattered there. Meaning of how it is today, you have Negro Syrians in Syria, the modern day Turkey and Syria. You have so-called black people that are scattered in Turkey, that are scattered in Syria. You even have the President Assad speaking about that on the things that we go through over here, and saying that it was not I'm not gonna say what the small hats went through is nothing compared to what we went through. If brothers and sisters have seen that clip, I know few camp brothers was doing videos concerning those things, and he literally said those things, man. Oh yeah, we'll get that. Hold on, brother Dunn Israel. Let's jump over this, the book of Galatians, chapter 3 and verse 28. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. So we got the context. We set the tone by reading what Galatians chapter 1 and verse 2 is literally showing you, in all the brethren. Who are Paul's brethren? Paul's brethren are the Israelites, according to what? Romans chapter 10. Let's get that to prove that. Precept for brethren. This is not just talking about anybody, man. This is the book of Romans chapter 10 and verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved. So Paul identifies his brethren as who? The Israelites. That's who he is writing to the book of Galatians to. Israelites that are scattered in Galatia. Let's read Galatians chapter 3 verse 28 again. This is the book of Galatians chapter 3 verse 28. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female, for ye are all one in Christ Jesus. So this is Paul letting us know that, guess what? It doesn't matter that you're a Jew or that you're Greek. What does it mean when it says Greek? Because a lot of times Christians will stop here and just, they automatically program to think so-called white man, Greek, white man. So if God was for everybody, then why didn't he say neither Jew nor all nations? So you mean to tell me it's just only Jews and white people getting saved? I mean, that makes no sense. They already think that the Jews are white. So this was literally exclude every damn body else. I mean, it makes no sense when you even just think about it. If God is for everybody, why wouldn't he just say, for there is neither Jew nor all nations? You have to understand and get the history concerning these things. Why are they calling them Greeks? Let's jump up. Let's go to the book of Galatians chapter 2 and verse 3. This is the book of Galatians chapter 2 and verse 3. But neither Titus, who was with me, being a Greek, was compelled to be circumcised. So people take that, oh, he was a Greek. He was a Greek. And that's why brothers and sisters have to understand it's a difference between nationality and citizenship. That's where you have to go back to the history of the Maccabees. It's a difference. We are over here. We have citizenship over here in America, but American is not my nationality. It's the same thing with Titus. He had citizenship of Greece. He was a Greek-speaking Jew. Guess what? We were forbidden to keep these things. And this is where you have to go to the Apocrypha, man. You just have to. So right there, brothers and sisters, should put what? First Maccabees 1 and 41, then Second Maccabees 6 and 6. Let's get there right quick. So to understand the breakdown of there is neither Jew nor Greek, on just a quick breakdown, you must have these precepts, man. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 41. And it reads, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole king. King Antiochus comes out of the lineage of Seleucus, one of Alexander the Greek's 4 generals. So when the Greeks came up to rule in 333 BC, they took over the whole earth. Yeah, Alexander conquered most of the known world. Then after he died, he left his kingdom to be split amongst his 4 generals. Antiochus comes out of Seleucus. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. It says, for the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land. So he wrote to them, hey, y'all leave y'all laws, leave y'all Israelite traditions, leave y'all laws. Y'all come and be and follow our ways. Similar to America, but America is even more tricky. They say come and be amongst us, but you can still have your ways and your traditions, knowing through their media, through television, through their entertainment, they eventually do what? Get brothers and sisters onto their plans by doing it. And that's a very, very clever way. You give them the illusion of freedom. Meanwhile, they're constantly programming you with all these different type of media, things on TV, tell lies and visions, like we say TV. It says, for the king has sent letters by messenger unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land. And they forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days. And that's what they tell us today. Don't keep Christmas. Don't keep what Christ kept, dedication, keep Christmas. Don't keep Passover, keep what? Easter. Same thing, just in a deceitful, guileful way. Verse 46, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Let's jump down. It says, to the end that they might, verse 49, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinance. So they did these things so our people eventually would do what? Forget who they are. Because when you forget who you are, you forget everything about you. You forget your heritage, the clothes you wore, the food that you ate, the high holy days that you celebrate. You forget all those things when you lose your identity as a people. That's why they're constantly, no, you're not that, you're an American. No, I'm an Israelite. That's my God-given nationality. Let's jump over to Maccabees, 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 6. This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, and verse 6. And it reads, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So 2 Maccabees get even heavier. It literally is saying that, guess what? They wasn't even allowed to call themselves Jews. We wasn't even allowed to call ourselves Israelites. We had to call ourselves what? Greeks. That's why you have Titus saying Greek, because he was a Greek speaking Jew or Hellenized Jew, because we were made to be conformed to what? To their ways, doctrines, and philosophies. This is what this is going into. And to further understand these things, brothers and sisters must have the Apocrypha. Like I said, this 1st and 2nd Maccabees goes into the Greek captivity. You need this. So while the Protestant church took these things out, man, along with the Catholic church, just a quick look breakdown. Like I said, if you want a deeper breakdown, please go to Battle Axis, type in breakdown of Galatians, or Jew nor Greek. Brother Damon asked, Shalom, I want to ask back a question about Exodus 21 and 10 in chapter 11. So if you take away duty of marriage, she's not getting clothing, garment, food, sex, so she could go out free with money, right? Now, according to the law, yes. But remember, Christ magnified the law and made it honorable. So Christ was giving us the true understanding of that. But if a husband is not doing those duties, yes, let's go get that. If he wanted to take a second wife, or even if a husband has a wife, we're going to get precepts on that because that is totally out of order. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 9. And if he have betrothed unto her his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. Verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. So it is the man's job to do what? Be a protector and a provider for his wife. It's your job to do what? Provide her with resources that she needs for you and your family, food, shelter, and clothing. These are our necessities in this life. These things are pivotal. Hold that precept. Let's go to the book of, what is it? 1 Timothy. This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 5. And it reads, no, this is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he had denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. So the Bible is telling you, a brother that have a family that he's not providing for, you're worse than an infidel. An infidel is a non-believer, meaning you don't truly believe in the scriptures, man. You don't believe in the Most High. You don't believe in his son, Yahushua. Because if you did, you will be following the laws that he gave us, like I brought out in the book of Exodus chapter 21. So according to the law, and this understanding that does come with that, but in that allowed case, if a man is not doing his job, providing, protecting his wife, she has no other choice, but we take it through the eyes of the lens of the totality of the scriptures. So that's what we'll tell brothers and sisters to do, what apply 1 Corinthians chapter 7. If your husband is not doing that, sis, yeah, you have no choice but to separate from him. You have no choice. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse, this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 10. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband. But, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband. And let not the husband put away his wife. Meaning what? When it's problems between y'all, and that will be a big damn problem, y'all are allowed to separate. A sister will have no choice in that matter. But as far as getting a divorce, Christ gave us the understanding in the book of Matthew chapter 19. There's no such thing as divorce except for fornication. You understand that, Brother Damien? No, I didn't, Brother Jose. What you say? I don't think you saw my question in the beginning, Cap. Can you sin in your dreams? I've been having dreams about women, if you know what that means. I can understand that. You want to ask the Most High God to, I know this question came up. This question came up. The best thing that I would tell you, if you felt like you did sin, just repent. Repent and then ask the Most High God to send you pleasant dreams. That will be my counsel to you. If you feel like you did sin, by having a wet dream or anything, because those things do happen. We can't play the game. If you did those things, just repent of those things. Repent, ask the Most High God for forgiveness, then ask the Most High God to send you pleasant dreams. That's what I would tell you. Brother Dunn Israel says, can Revelations 22 and 12 be a precept for Isaiah 10 talking about reward with him? Let's get there right quick. Revelations 22 and 12. This is the book of Revelations 22 and 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give to every man according to his works shall be. So let's go back to that Isaiah. So we see that this is Christ talking about his reward, whether it be of righteousness or wickedness, when he's sent back on the planet Earth. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 10. Behold, the Lord will come with a strong hand, and his arm shall rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. Yes, that's something that you can precept with that on the basis of work, of rewards, like it. So that reward can be a positive reward or a negative reward, just that simple. Either you get a reward of the kingdom or you get a reward of death for breaking God's commandments. And that's it. So yeah, that's a great precept that you can precept with there, Brother Don Israel. Obviously, is it superstitious if your eye jumping, people talking about you, or your hand itch, meaning money for the edification? No, I don't believe in that. I understand we were taught that, but the Bible don't go into superstition. And that's a great question, because I know my hand itch. Sometimes it may happen, but the thing is, I don't look too much into it, because I know you say if your right hand itch, you're going to get some money. You may get some money sometimes, but don't look too deep into that. Like we say, if it's not in the scriptures, we don't go no further than that. Sister Day, a Jew with a Gentile state of mind, that's exactly right. That's right. Israelites scattered in Greek captivity. La de Militant. Revelations chapter 12, verse 15. Yeah, y'all forgive me. I know we kind of go extensively through the scriptures, so I know I'm not catching up with y'all questions as they start to roll in. All praise. Same here, Brother Crypto Brinks. Same here. I pray that brothers and sisters are doing well. Pray that brothers and sisters are staying warm, man. Shalom, Sister Shamitra Young. How you doing, sis? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 15, and it reads, and the serpent cast out of her mouth water as a flood after the woman, that it might cause her to be carried away of the flood. That's right. Going into what we were talking about early in the class. So that is a great precept. Going into what was that? Isaiah 59. Chapter 59 and verse 15 or 14. It says one could do that, but you would have to properly explain a little bit. Yeah. Shalom, brother. Uriah 12 Stones. How you doing? Glad to see you in here. Yeah, that's right. Sirach chapter 34 tells us not to regard dreams. And that is a good precept for brothers to have. And he said, Brother Damien, okay, Shalom need one and who was the Most High talking about in Matthew 6 and 14? Let's get there right quick. Brothers and sisters asking some great questions. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 14, and it reads, remember, this is going into teachings on prayer. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 14, for if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. So this is going into the Israelite man. It's talking about Israelites only. Remember, the Bible is only for Israelites. So it's only talking to Israelites, Brother Damien. It's not talking about all nations. It's not talking about Esau when he was beating us in captivity. It's only addressed to our people. It says, Dexter, damn, that's rough. You think we can have a dream about the future where Israel got concubines? Say that again. You said, Dexter, damn, that's rough. You think we can have a dream about the future where Israel got concubines? I mean, it's possible, but even like what Ak brought out in the book of Sirach, chapter 34, it tells you not to regard dreams. Remember, we lost the understanding. We had two people in the scriptures that could interpret dreams. You had our brother, beloved brother Daniel, and you had Joseph, our forefather. They could interpret dreams. Remember, as the earth gets older and older, we get weaker and weaker due to sin. So brothers have lost the ability to be able to interpret dreams. So the Bible said you have to take it as a vision from one thing to another. Let's get that right quick. Let's just get it. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 34. And so you just try to program myself to always just go to the scriptures and let the scriptures give us the answer. And this is for brothers and sisters that have dreams. Yes, we have dreams all the time, but the Most High God, don't put too much into a dream. They may come true, but you still don't put too much into it, because you could take that and like, oh, the Most High God is dealing with me on a higher super level. And we know that the Most High God deals with people on different levels. Don't get me wrong. But to be able to interpret a dream is something totally different, brothers and sisters. Totally different. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 34 and verse 1. The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools. It's literally telling you dreams can lift you up. It can make you think that you're a prophetess or a mighty prophet. And guess what? It could just be a dream that you saw or something bad that you ate the night before. You remember what Bill Cosby, man, he eat them Subway sandwiches, man, them hoagies, and his wife would tell him not to. He'd be having bad dreams about hoagies trying to come get him in his sleep. A lot of times brothers and sisters dream about things that they done watched on TV the night before. It could be a matter of things that could play a part in that. Verse 2, whoso regarded dreams is like him that catcheth after a shadow. So the Most High God is now giving a similitude, comparing you having dreams to a person chasing a shadow. The point is, can you chase a shadow? No. So you won't be able to understand what that dream is talking about. It says, and follow it after the wind. Can you follow the wind? No, you cannot. The visions of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to a face, because we have all had those dreams where you could have sworn you seen a brother in your dream, but you can't 100% know that it's that brother or that sister in your dream. This is what the Bible is telling us, because you can do what? Might make a mistake. I know it seems so vivid sometimes, but we have to obey God rather than men, even our own minds. It says, of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? And from that thing which is false, what truth can come? So you have a lot of times, you have the wicked brother. Not saying that the Most High God don't deal with them to do certain wills, because the Most High God will put a wicked dream on a brother if he out of order, or a wicked dream on a sister. Verse 5, divinations and soothsayings and dreams are vain, and the heart fancieth. A lot of times our mind, we fancy those dreams like you just on a higher, super higher level. That's why it's pivotal that brothers and sisters do read that. Oh, the Most High God is this. Brother, I seen this just so clearly, my brother. No, you have to follow what the scriptures say. Yes, we have dreams. I told brothers and sisters this dream many times. Years ago, 5 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I had a dream. I feel I was in what was that? The pyramids of Egypt, and something took off the top and snatched me out of that. Can I go into some things on what I think it might be? Yes, but do I play into that? No, I don't. I ain't gonna lie. The dream scared the hell out of me, though. I can't even lie. But my heart don't fancy upon it. Okay, it was a dream. Just move on. I'm going to read verse 5 again. Divinations and soothsayings and dreams are vain, and the heart fancieth, as a woman's heart in travail. If they be not sent from the Most High in thy visitation, set not thy heart upon them. For dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them. The Most High God is letting us know, don't put your trust in those things. Najaya. Women dress code, spring and summer dresses. Can we wear dresses that do not cover your arms, but are long and cover all the essential areas? That's fine, sis. Depending on it, like you say, if you have a husband, if your husband says that it's appropriate, I know my wife asks me, and sometimes I may see a dress, if it's too showing too much, because I know those sundresses with the strings, a lot of times they kind of have your cleavage out, so you do have to be careful about those things, sis. That's something you do have to be careful about. Yael, shalom, Captain. Can you give precepts for sons of men, sons of God, sons of the devil again, please? The Psalms 4 and 2, Ecclesiastes 9 and 3, including Israelites or solely men of other nations. That's a good question. Let's get there right quick. Let's go to the book of First John. Let's go to the book of First John. Because there are literally classifications of men. You have sons of God, you have sons of the wicked, then you have children of men, just regular men. So let's get those. Let me give you this precept, then I'm going to get yours. Let's go to the book of First John. This is the book of First John, chapter 3 and verse. This is the book of First John, chapter 3 and verse 7. And it reads, little children, let no man deceive you. For he that doeth righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. He that committed sin is of the devil, for the devil sinned from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. So we see that, guess what? The Son of God was manifested going into Christ, and that specific lineage that comes out of the Most High God, from all the way down from Adam to the Israelites. It says, verse 10 is the point. In this, the children of God are manifest, meaning the Israelites and their chosen lineage all the way down to the Israelites. In this, the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God, neither he that loveth not his brother. So in this precept, you have sons of God and you have the children of the devil. Now let's get the precepts that you asked for, sis. And I'm going to get you another one for the children of men. And it's in the book of Psalms as well. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 4 and verse 2. And it reads, O ye sons of men, how long will ye turn my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing? Selah. But know that the Lord has set apart him that is godly for himself. The Lord will hear when I call unto him. And that's the point. Verse 3 is the point, sis, that you will want. So you can use that as a precept for sons of men, but it's other precepts that kind of home in the point even more. Let's jump over to 14. Is that what I want? Let's jump over to 14 and verse 1. That is a good precept, sis, but you want to make sure that you have verses 2 and 3 to kind of home in the point. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 14 and verse 1, and it reads, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any, that did understand and seek God. They are all gone aside. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good. No, not one. And this is what Christians love to use to try to say that the Israelites, the Bible says that it was none not good. No, this is talking about the children of men. Because you had many people in the Bible that were righteous. You had Zacharias and Elizabeth. You had John the Baptist. You had Christ. You had many brothers and sisters. You had Job, Noah, many people that kept the commandments. So this is a precept that I would use. But yes, you can also use Psalms 4 and 2. That's a good precept, sis. But sometimes, like we said, we want to get other precepts to kind of make it more plain. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 3. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, and verse 3. It says, this is an evil among all things that are done under the sun, that there is one event to all. Yea, also the hearts of the sons of men is full of evil, and madness is in their heart while they live. And after that, they go to the dead. So that's another precept that you can use for sons of men as well, sis. That's a great, great precept. Yes, solely men of other nations. So I'm gonna tell you, you have to be careful too, because like Christ is called the Son of Man. So you have to understand the context too sometimes, sis. So a lot of times you want to read up or read down. And if you do have problems, always just reach out to me. Another precept that we can use for sons of God is the book of Genesis. The book of Genesis, chapter 6. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 1. And it reads, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and that they took them wives of all which they chose. So even in this precept, this is a great precept I love to use, even in the beginning, because people think that only the children of Israel were the sons of God. And Christians teach that the sons of God are the angels in this context. Yes, the angels are the sons of God in certain contexts, but in this context, it's literally talking about men, just men on the earth that he created from Adam. God always had a chosen lineage. So you had Adam that was chosen. You had Abel that was chosen. Abel was killed by Cain, so then Seth replaced him. Seth was chosen. Then you had Noah that was chosen. Out of Noah's 3 sons, you had Shem that was chosen. Then you had what? Abraham that was chosen. Then you have what? Isaac that was chosen. Jacob that was chosen. Jacob had the 12 tribes of Israel. They was chosen to be the nation that God chose to put his name in. So you always have that chosen generation. And a lot of times people always want to learn, well, I'm going through the gate that Abraham is. On a deeper level, that's going into regeneration. Because if the Most High God brings their spirits back on the planet Earth, they will be going through what? One of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. That's something that Christians don't understand. So those are precepts that you can use, sis. You also can use Luke chapter 3, verse 38. Then you can also use Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, sis. So you have precepts for children of men, children of God. There's a lot of precepts for sons of God. And sons of the devil, John 8 and 44, ye of your father the devil. So you have also Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 13, sis, for those precepts. And Dries Carter, Shalom, Shalom, says, my grandmother used to make me watch the 10 Commandments, but she used to break it down to me and say, don't ever forget we the Israelites. And we was running from, oh, that's good. I'm glad, all praises. Your grandmother was in the spirit, sis. Jose, is it possible the Lord said he would give us visions? Yes, we would receive visions. You know, Brother Hosea, we would receive visions according to the book of Acts and according to the book of Joel. Dexter, I know exactly why I had that dream. I'm gonna tell you, I don't think you did. I'm gonna tell you why. The interpretation of a dream is something else, and we have to go with what the scriptures say. That's why we tell brothers. That's why the Most High God literally warned us about that. So to say that you know why you had that dream, I wouldn't take it that far. Just keep it confined to the scriptures. So let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 1, to prove my point. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 1. Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? So the Most High God is saying, who knoweth the interpretation of a dream? Many times when the Most High God gave them dreams, he also did what? Gave them angels to break down that dream, to be able to give that understanding. So that's why I say, by us being in sin for these number of years, we have lost that particular type of power, where Most High God sends angels down to do what? To give us an interpretation or a breakdown of a dream that we may have received. So that's why I would say that you have to be careful about that. It said, Dex, I know I asked that question for people who still think that. Yeah, did you hear me, Sister Andres? It's to edify people who really don't know, but that's the way that they was brought up. I mean, Christ is talking about the people of our kindred, not the hindrance. That's right. Um, so Dexter, not at all. Don't see anything that attracts me. That's all I keep talking about. Shalom, shalom, Sister Kia. How you doing, sis? My grandmother used to teach me this in the 70s. She used to make. Don't ever forget we were the slaves and we was running from the crusades. Yes, that is true, sis. All praise. Shalom, Sister Boston. How you doing, sis? Shalom, Sister Ventura. How you doing? How can I go about helping my husband lead spiritually? He's a God-fearing man. Well, he has to lead, sis. You help your husband by doing your part according to the Bible. Doing what he's asking you, being a submissive helpmeet according to the Bible. That's the way that you lead according to Titus chapter 2, Sirach chapter 26. That's how you help your husband. But you have to remember your husband is the sole leader. He's the leader, sis. But you help him by doing what? Being a helpmeet to him. That's how you help, sis. Yes, Andres Carter, she said about 30 years of domestic violence. I would say 100 years of lynching, to take it even further. He first read the Bible, make time for studies it's something we struggle with. Says, how can I help my husband lead spiritually? He's a God-fearing man. However, he first read the Bible or make time for studies. It's something we struggle. You have to break that down. I don't know if you're writing it right or I'm reading it wrong. He's a God-fearing man. However, he first read the Bible or make time for studies. Are you trying to say that he doesn't read the Bible and make time for studies? If he don't, that's where you can come in. Like, baby, could we read this right quick? You can always suggest those things to your husband. Baby, kind of go over this with me. Ask them questions, to kind of get him to open up the Bible so y'all can read. Or just say it plain, brother. Babe, let's read this, So yeah, you always want to make sure you open up that line of communication. When you see, and that's something that sisters can always do. Sisters that have husbands, if you haven't been read with your husband, because I know sometimes me being busy, sometimes my wife being busy, she may read. Of course, we could always do a lot of more reading, of course, always. But if you see some things really lacking, hey, either of y'all could institute that. If you see a husband is kind of in a slump, hey, you put forth those things. It is a way of being a helpmeet to him. Hey, baby, let's go over this. Anybody can initiate that. Namely, it should be the husband, though. Najaya, I continually have dreams of me being in different eras of the Bible, historic times. And I'm going to tell you, sis, that kind of goes into what we would call deja vu. Like we have been here before, but we don't know who we are. But you can see that sometimes. So, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 17. Then suddenly visions of terrible dreams troubled them sore, and terrors came upon them unlooked for. That's a great precept, too. Say, can we break down Lamentations 4 and 17? Let's get that right quick. The book of Lamentations is a book of mourning that Jeremiah was writing, seeing the destruction of our people during the Babylonian captivity. So he's basically lamenting. It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. And a lot of times that's what our people do. We look to these other nations to save us when we know that they don't give a damn about us. We should be looking to the Lord to help us and to save us. It says they hunt our steps, and that's literally what they do. They look for our people concerning anything, concerning mischief. That's why it's pivotal that we keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments to keep us out of that trouble. Like we always say, it's so easy to get into trouble, but it's so hard to get out of it. Well, if you're keeping God's laws, it's hard to get into trouble, man. We reverse that thing. It says they hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets, meaning it's hard for our people to walk. You may have a brother that's not out there doing nothing. He get harassed by the police. Many of black brothers, sisters as well have experienced that in this country, you know. And this is not just during that time, it's doing all these other captivities as well. It says, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Meaning during that time, the Most High God was showing them that they was going to be destroyed, you know. But we have to start looking for the Most High God for our power and for our salvation, man, and not these other nations. Verse 19, it says, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles. And who is compared to an eagle when you read the book of what? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses, let's get there right quick. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle fly. What is the symbol of America? The eagle. What is the symbol of Greece? The eagle. What is the symbol of Rome? The eagle. What is the symbol of Great Britain? The eagle. All these Edomite empires, symbols are the eagles, because an eagle represents a bird of prey that swoops down and takes whatever it wants. That's why the Most High God compares them to an eagle. And they literally have that as their symbols too. So this is what the book of Lamentations is going into, mainly talking about when we were in the Babylonian captivity, but on a deeper level is going into Esau today. It says, Shalom, Captain. Is it a sin to kill in war such as military? No, because it's the time is war. You know, it's a time of war. It's a difference between, what did it say, killing and murder. Murder is when you just killing people for no reason. But to kill someone, you have to have a purpose for that. You know, and sometimes we know in this captivity, brothers and sisters, we know they can be interchangeable, you know. But we see how King David did what? Killed many, many people. But the Most High God said that he was still what? Perfect in his own eyes. Although he couldn't build the temple, though, because he did shed a lot of blood. But the Most High God still considered him perfect. So let's get that. What's that? First Kings. I'll forget this sometime. First Kings chapter 15. This is the book of First Kings chapter 15 and verse. I started verse 1. The book of First Kings chapter 15 verse 1. We done went over this a few times here. Now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, reigned Abijam over Judah. 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Absalom. And he walked in all the sins of his father, which he had done before him, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as the heart of David his father. So we see that God said that the heart of David was perfect, even though we knew that he had did what? Killed many, many people. It says concubine is a sex partner. No, a concubine would be like a lesser wife. So a concubine is not a wife, is a sex partner. Brother Damon, I see you kind of struggle with that. If you don't want no multiple wife, don't deal with it. Why do you kind of struggle with that? A concubine would just be like a lesser wife. You know, that's all. Because we see where even King Solomon, he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. And he was a righteous man for a time, for a long period of time. If he wasn't, the Most High God wouldn't have gave them into his hands. On a deeper level, King Solomon went off to show us what not to do on a deeper level. But a concubine is a lesser wife. That's all. Let me see. Let's jump over. This is the book of First Kings, chapter 11 and verse 3. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father. So we see that the Bible is saying that King David's heart was perfect, but guess what? King David had many wives, but his heart was still perfect with the Most High God. But a concubine would be just like a lesser wife. That's all. Brother Ray, he said, just for education, can you go into the laws? If you're not keeping them, the Lord is not hearing you. Let's get there right quick. And brothers and sisters must know that if you're not keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments, the Most High God is not dealing with you. This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, the book of John. Salaki, brothers and sisters. This is the book of John, chapter 9, verse 31, and it reads, now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, the will of God is Psalms 40 and 8, meaning keeping the commandments, and doeth his will, him he heareth. Let's get other precepts. Let's go to Proverbs 28 and 9. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28 and verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. So the Most High God is not dealing with people that is not committing to his laws, statutes, and commandments. Let's get Psalm 66 and 18. Out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. So you can say, oh, I know God heard my prayers, Sister Betty. If you ain't keeping the commandments, he's not. Remember, the devil also can give blessings. So if you're getting blessed and you're not keeping the laws of God, by default, the devil is the one that's giving you those things. According to the book of Matthew, chapter 4. A lot of times people don't want to hear that, but it is what it is. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 66 and verse 18. If I regard iniquity in my heart, the Lord would not hear me. And that's plain. If you have and are dealing with iniquity and have it in your heart and in your mind, God is not dealing with you. Dexter, we appreciate you for trying to help, but let Captain Benaniah answer the questions and break down the precepts outcome. It's like I didn't break down, sharing that we make. Yeah. It says y'all hold to that position of the concubines. I didn't break any scripts, but I'm assuming you mean we can't have sex with concubines or something. They're just lesser wives. So if they're a lesser wife, yes, you can. It says, what is a mamzer? A mamzer, shalom, Sister Lachey Israel. A mamzer is a product of incest or unlawful sexual acts. So you would have basically like a bastard, sis. That's what a mamzer is. And they were considered, they were shunned upon amongst the nation. If you had gotten a child out of wedlock, it would be considered like a mamzer or a bastard child. Let's get there. Let me see if I can find it right quick. It says, I heard the word recently and they was referring it to Hispanics and natives. Yeah, that's not what that's going into. I know a lot of times they try to attribute that to that. But no. That's not what that's going into. To try to justify so even when you look it up, this is the definition of the word mamzer. In the Hebrew Bible and Jewish religion law, a mamzer is a person who is born as the result of a forbidden relationship or incest or the descendant of such a person. So no, the Hispanics are Israelites and people don't know what the hell they're talking about, sis. A lot of times people are just looking on the outside. They looking because they have a lighter skin complexion, straighter hair, but they don't even contend to understand the history, how what they mixed amongst the nations constantly. So even before they came over here to the Americas, they looked different because they mixed amongst the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Assyrians, the Hamites. They mixed among all these nations. So no, people don't understand what they're talking about, sis. It's just the product of a result of a unjustified or forbidden marriage, meaning, like it says, incest or adultery, or a wife that had a husband that treated the son like a bastard or a bastard child. So no. Dex, I personally don't care about concubines. That's a great question, Captain. We'll break down. It in the Bible, Shalom. What you mean, Brother Damien? What's in the Bible? Speaking of dreams or visions, was Nebuchadnezzar's vision in Daniel the same as Daniel's vision in Daniel 7 and 7? Let's get there right quick. What do you mean, brother? Kind of clarify on that. You talking about as me for as telling you that you kind of struggle with that? Now this no, that's different from that one. Brother Law the Militant. Daniel's chapter 7 and verse 7 is going into those four great beasts. So to an extent, but it is more so going into well, I could say you could put it to that. It kind of just covers those four beasts, but in the book of Daniel chapter 2, it kind of goes how can I put this into all of them without saying it, because the 10 toes represent more. Now you have to get other precepts in the book of Revelations to kind of fill in the whole precept. So I would tell you, yeah, to a degree, a lot of the militant, because it's basically going into the Babylonian captivity, the Persian and Mede captivity, the Greek captivity, then the Rome captivity. Those were the four beasts in the book of Daniel chapter 7 verse 7. And in the book of Daniel chapter 2 verse 31 is going into the Babylonians being the head of gold, Persian and Mede the chest of silver, Greek waist of bronze, and then the legs as and the toes as iron and miry clay. So yeah, you cannot. That is going into the same thing. Yeah, exactly. Second Samuel chapter 5, verse 13. And David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem after he was come from Hebron. And there were yet sons and daughters born to David. So yeah, thanks, Ak. It's great precept. First Chronicles 3 and 9. These were all the sons of David, besides the son of the concubines, and Tamar his sister. Everything Cap said, I said, as you can see, we believe in the same thing, but I get it. Yeah, all praise. And like we said, brothers, okay to bring up precepts I didn't touch or go over to kind of home in the point more, but yeah, we totally understand what Officer Yaakov is saying. I know Brother Dexter too. It says, let your wisdom be your first wife. Exactly. And that's ultimately what you want. You want wisdom to be your first wife, to be that first love, which is going into the law, statutes, and commandments, ultimately. But if brothers see fit, like we say, us at Battle Axe, we know that it is lawful, but we look and judge it according to how much experience you have, how long you've been in the truth. Are you ready for those particular type of things? We always kind of counsel against it though, but we take those things into consideration. Like we say, is it lawful? But all things that are lawful are not expedient. Meaning just because it's lawful don't mean it's the right time to do. We tell brothers, make sure you get your spirit right, because if you have one wife is enough. By you doing the work, by you having multiple wives, it takes away your work from the truth. Especially if brothers don't understand on how to manage their time. 9 times out of 10, I ain't gonna say all the times. Brothers do look for that for sex. From my experience, they just kind of want to sleep with multiple women. You know, but it's responsibilities that comes with that. You have to protect or provide for both those wives and your families, man. It's a lot that comes with it. A lesser wife would be like even like what I just brought out. So you would have like your main wives, even like how we brought out in the book of First Kings chapter 11 with King Solomon. King Solomon had, like we say, 700 wives. So those would be like the main women that he would deal with, and the concubines would be like the sisters that he wouldn't deal with as much, and that's all that that's going into. Frigi Indigo, Shalom or ZZs, a Jewish tradition. Now, we don't deal with the ZZs. I would say that it is. We're always looking into that. From all the studies we've seen with all the archaeology, the the inscriptions upon tablets and upon stone. We always see them with the fringes all the way around the four corners, all the way around the borders of the garment. Zion Abraham, Shalom family. Who is Zion Abraham? This better not be Abraham putting on another damn name. Well, if that is you, why you answer the phone for me early? If it's not, Salakia to you. Sister Day, you say I just watched Daniel movie yesterday. What Daniel movie, sis? Give me some more insight. Shalom. A talebearer and someone who gossip. Is it in the Bible? Yes, it is. Talebearer, you can't be a talebearer, meaning a person to gossip. Let's get that right quick. You cannot be a talebearer. Let's go to the book of Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 16. And it reads, thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord. So no, we cannot be talebearers according to the Bible. Yes, it is. Someone who gossips, like Busy Bonita from In Living Color. Or even like I'm gonna tell you, man, that's to an extent. It's kind of why the Most High God was jacking up Wendy Williams, man. She literally have a show that caters solely to gossiping, so it's judgments for these things, man. A lot of times our people don't understand it till we literally break it down and correlate it, and relate it to the Bible. She ain't been on that show in a minute, man. So, if I'm not mistaken, because of, dealing with that health problem that she had. So, yeah, brothers and sisters shouldn't tell, but you have other precepts that go deeper into it in the book of Sirach. Like we say, when brothers want deeper precepts, go into the book of Sirach or the book of Wisdom of Solomon or the book of Job. So you have the book of Sirach, chapter 19, and we just 6. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 6. He that can rule his tongue shall live without strife, and he that hated babbling shall have less evil. So if you don't like babbling, this is something that sisters deal with. Brothers deal with it too more and more because we have some effeminate brothers out there. So this is a spirit that sisters mainly deal with. You around sisters, y'all gossiping. Sisters will listen to brothers bring these out, and then the Most High got to put that situation in there to see what they're going to do, and they still fall for it. Sisters be wicked as hell. And if sisters is dealing in that spirit, y'all got to come up out of there, because a lot of times that's why sisters may not be able to grow in the truth. Sisters do those things, man, and that's something that's not right. And if a sister that's doing that, you're not getting on that sister, you wicked as hell too. I'm just going to call it plain, man. You catering to that nonsense, and that spirit will be able to jump on you. Then you go and tell what that sister done told you to somebody else. Then the story done changed about 20,000 damn times. Now the person that y'all talking about all types of things, and it comes to find out that all those things was a lie. It says, he that can rule his tongue shall live without strife, and he that hated babbling shall have less evil. Verse 7, rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee, and thou shalt fare never the worse. Meaning, it's talking about gospel. It's not talking about counsel. It's different things, brothers and sisters, because you have a brother or sister that's telling some things that are not true to another sister. That sister tell it, or their brother tell it to another person. No, those are things that you're using to try to discredit a person, not to build a person up. Counseling is to build a person up. Verse 8, whether it be to a friend or foe, talk not of other men's lives. And if thou canst without offense, reveal them not. Meaning, if you hear something and something comes up, if it's going to cause an offense, don't reveal it, man. If it's going to cause some problems, don't tell it. This is what the Bible is saying. Verse 9, for he heard and observed thee, and when the time cometh, he will hate thee. Meaning, when that stuff get out and he heard that you or that sister had said something about him or her, that's where hatred starts to come in. These are great precepts all the way down to verse 15, 16. So These are great precepts to kind of add to what we read in the book of Leviticus 19 and 16. Brother Uriah to a Stones, Ecclesiasticus 26 and 3. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in a portion of them that fear the Lord. That's right. You know, Zion Abraham. I like when the brothers both attack questions and cast down strongholds. Jacob, I just went up, read the comments. I don't ever see you answering them. Well, no, because it's even like, remember, Zion Abraham, brother Officer Yaakov is in order. You know, that's something that we asked him. And I give the understanding on that as well. Brothers can input, you know, and I don't mind brothers giving input, but we want, don't, what you eating my damn cake for? It ain't your cake. Brothers can give input, but like we say, even like what Officer Yaakov is doing, he's just trying to stay in order with protocol. So Ak has orders to do too, and he's doing that, you know. Brother Dexter, they know how we get down. You know, we tell brother, I'll commend brothers and sisters for putting precepts in there because I want to see where brothers and sisters' mind is at as well. You know, but I understand, like you say, you don't want to get to where you're literally just going in and really not paying attention to the class or whatnot. But yeah, I allow brothers and sisters to put precepts in there. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. It says, I have a question. What is the 144,000 significant of? The 144,000 is significant of the government that's going to be ruling with Christ, the 12 disciples. That's the body and government of Christ. They're going to be out there to do what? To set up rulership and to make sure these other nations are keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what it's significant for. Shalom, brother Bala. Man, this been you the whole damn time. What the hell? I didn't even know that. Shalom Kwame Roberts on YouTube, the Esau version. You have to send me that, sis. Ash one located. Now the Ash one I'm thinking about is the one in Egypt, but I have to kind of look into that. Zion, Abraham, Damien. Leviticus 19:16, that shall not go up and down as a terrible among thy people. That's right. Captain Benaniah, praise him. I ain't the teacher, Captain Benaniah, so I understand the respect of order. Yeah, that's right. You know, that's plain. Yeah, just send it to me, sis. Captain, tell us where the names Javin, Put, and Lud come from. Why didn't they use Shemites from Lud? You kind of says, Captain, tell us where the names come from the scriptures are, you know, in the book of Genesis. Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 10. So, I mean, the names come from the scriptures are, you know, to say, ultimately, we know that these things come from the Most High. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 10 and verse 2. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javin, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tyrus. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Rapha, and Togarmah. The sons of Javin, Elishah, and Tarshish, and Kittim, and Dodam. So we see that these things they come from the Bible. And Put and Lud come from. Let's jump down. Put and Lud comes from Ham. Let's jump down to verse 6. So Put would be modern day Libya. And let me see. Ludim, when we jump down to verse 13, these are basically Egyptians. Because we know verse 13. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 10 and verse 13. And Mitzrayim is the ancient name for the Egyptians. And Ludim, and Ananim, and Lahabim, and Neptuhim. These are different tribes of the Egyptians. You understand that? It says, why didn't they use Shemites from Lud? I'm not understanding what you asking me. Why didn't they use Shemites from Lud? Yeah, you're going to have to kind of clarify what you mean. Yeah. Oh, you talking about in 10 and verse 22. The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. Remember, just because you have a name don't mean that it's a monopoly on that name. You had many people in the Bible that had the name Joshua or Jesus, so you had other nations. You had a brother out of Israel called Ishmael. So these names were interchangeable. They used names many, many times over. If you understand it, okay, all praises. If you can understand that. Shalom, brother Lamar. How you doing, Said that's my Aki, what it found, brother Lamar. Jeremiah 20 and 10. Brother Damien, Proverbs 20 and 19. He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets. That's a good precept. Therefore, meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips. Jacob, the order is iron sharpen iron. Upset and happy at the same time. My Cowboys lost, but I'm here for the good word. Yeah, they lost, Yeah, they did. So I'm gonna tell you something, brother. Them Cowboys ain't nothing but some Edomites horse riders. I don't watch sports, to be honest. Yeah, some people do, and some people don't. And I can understand both sides. Like we tell brothers and sisters, it's okay to watch them, but you don't put so much into them. You don't put no much to where they just carry you away from the truth. Because I know you have brothers, you'll be doing a class and the Cowboys game is on. Hey, you won't even watch the class, or a basketball game. So you want to make sure that you always put the Most High God first, whatever you're doing. Malik, what prophecy are we waiting on until the Lord come back? Well, the prophecies are in play. You got prophecies in the book of Matthew chapter 24, wars and rumors of wars, famines, pestilence. Remember, we're already in those things, so we see that the war is getting close. Matthew's 24 and 7. Let's get that right quick. So we already are seeing those things. We've seen insurrections happening. This is the book of Matthew 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation. So we already seen that with Russia and Ukraine. Now we're seeing it with Israel and the Palestinians. It says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines. You have famines in some of these places. And pestilence. We already went through some pestilence. Y'all know what we talking about. And earthquakes. We've been seeing different type of earth. They literally just had a underground earthquake. That's what a tsunami is, brothers and sisters. A tsunami is an underground earthquake that tore up Japan. So we seeing these things coming more and more and more on the planet Earth. All praises for the Most High. And earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. So we see that these are used for signs, brothers and sisters. So yeah, we're already in there. I would say the prophecies in the book of Matthew 24 and 7. A lot of the militant in Second Chronicles 24 and 7, the wicked woman, who was that and how did she break up the house of God? Let's get that right quick. Second Chronicles. Second Chronicles 24 and 7. So this is going into Joash reign. This is the book of Second Chronicles 24 and verse 7. For the sons of Attila, that wicked woman, had broken up the house of God, and also all the dedicated things of the house of the Lord did they bestow upon Baalim. Let's jump up. Joash 24 and verse 1. Joash was 7 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Ziblah of Beersheba. And Joash did that which was right in the sight of the Lord all the days of Jehoiada the priest. And Jehoiada took for him 2 wives, and he begat sons and daughters. And it came to pass that after this, that Joash was minded to repair the house of the Lord. And he gathered together the priests and the Levites and said to them, go out to the cities of Judah and gather of all Israel money to repair the house of your God from year to year, and see that ye hasten the matter. Howbeit the Levites hasten it not. So we see this is going into the times of the split. A lot of times when you read the book of First and Second Kings, it goes into Judah's perspective of it. And then in First and Second Chronicles, it touches more on the northern side kind of understanding of it. And this is just going into how the split of the kingdom, and brothers was literally trying to put these things back. But it's only one person that can put it back together, and this is going into the Most High and His Son Yahushua. Let me get my other book. Let me find into the treasure. Until his death. So we jump over to Second Chronicles chapter 23 and verse 12. And it reads, "Now when Attila heard the noise of the people running and praising the king, she came to the people into the house of the Lord. And she looked, and behold, the king stood at his pillar at the entering in, and the princes and the trumpets by the king. And all the people of the land rejoiced and sounded with trumpets. Also the singers with instruments of music, and such as taught to sing praise. Then Attila rent her clothes and said, Treason, treason. Then Jehoiada, the priest, brought out the captains of the hundreds that were set over the host, and said unto them, Have her forth of the ranges, and whosoever followeth her, let him be slain with the sword. For the priest said, Slay her not in the house of the Lord. So they gave an opportunity. The sister was bringing up false charges, talking about treason. So the judgment was to put her to death, but they said, don't put her to death in the house of the Lord. So even when we jump over to verse 24, sister had basically, like you said, the sister was wicked as hell, going into also trying to assert authority to a degree, and sister was just all out wicked. Let me see if we want some more. Verse 15, so they laid hands on her, and when she was come to the entering of the horse gate by the king's house, they slew her there. So we see that, guess what? Even when you jump over to Second Chronicles chapter 22 and verse 10, it goes a little bit more into that. It goes into when she was reigning. It says, the book of Second Chronicles chapter 22 and verse 10, but when Attila, the mother of Ahaziah, saw her son was dead, she arose and destroyed all the seed royal of the house of Judah. So you had this sister doing what? Killing, so she can do what? To be able to obtain power. But the Most High God wasn't having it, man. Sister was a wicked mother, man, trying to make sure that her son had power, and after he died, that she remained in that power. You see that out. So Second Chronicles 22 verses 10 through 12 kind of goes into that. Yes, this was wicked as hell. I mean, let me keep reading. Verses I'm gonna start at verse 12. This is the book of Second Chronicles 22 and 12. And he was with them, hid in the house of God 6 years, and Attila reigned over the land. So she was literally trying to put the reigning the kings that was supposed to be up to rule the kingdom to death, and they had to hide for a while, man, while she was reigning. So this is how she was breaking up the house of God, by killing off the lineage that was supposed to take the king's place. You understand that? Sister was wicked as hell. Two raw twins. Shalom, shalom, ox. Florida got mashed up, like I said. So the Lord should be coming back any day. I mean, yeah, that's what the scriptures say. The scriptures say any day. These are the signs. You have to watch for the signs. Remember, we see wars and rumors of wars. He could be, because guess what? World War III is ramping up right now. Malik. It's ramping up right now. Of course, all nations not in it as yet, but they are here slowly gathering them. Once you see them gathering to the valley of Jehoshaphat, like how we saying with Israel and Palestine, sooner or later it may drag Russia into it. It may drag Syria into it. It may drag China into it. It may drag Japan. It's already to an extent it's dragging America into it. So these things are ramping up. They slowly but surely wrapping up. It says, is that the same Attila who was the only woman ruling in the Book of Kings? Yes, that's that same woman, sis. Sister was wicked as hell. She ordered all the males in her family under her to be killed. That's right, because she wanted to retain that power after her son died. Allowed the militant come. Because it's Alistair said, and why isn't the Old Testament enough? Because there's certain things in the Old Testament that is not fulfilled. And we see those things like with Christ. What do we see in the Old Testament where Christ fulfilled riding into Jerusalem on the donkey or going to the northern tribe? You know, we have to see those things fulfilled. Why is the New Testament in letters, not books like the Old Testament? You know, because those are the epistles. We use those as books. What's the precept for rulership on planet Earth? Let's get there right quick. You can go to Isaiah chapter 14. Brothers have any precepts, put them in the chat. Let me see, what can I think of right off the top? Let's go to Isaiah 14, just to kind of start off. Oh, I know what I want. I'm going to get this, and it just came to me. All praise to the Most High, man. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lords for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So we see that the Most High God did what? It's going to have us rule over our oppressors, man. Now I got the precepts for you. Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra. Book of 2nd Ezra is always a home kicker. We're just going to get straight to the point, man. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. The Most High God is literally showing us that the world, the planet Earth, was made for us to rule. Let's give you another precept. Let's jump over to 2nd Ezra 7 and 10. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 10. And I said, it is not so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. So the planet Earth was made for our sakes. But since we broke the commandments, it was given to the hands of our oppressors. I pray sisters get right. Brothers need a Proverbs. That's right. You know, brothers do need a Proverbs 31. Sisters need to be trying to obtain that particular type of spirit too. Isaiah chapter 53. Did Jesus die in the Old Testament and the New Testament explain what happened? No. Jesus Christ died in the New Testament. We don't see that. It was prophesied in the Old Testament that he was going to die for our sins. That's what Isaiah 53 is going into. But we see him actually die in the book of Luke. Let's get there right quick. We actually see him die in the Gospels. John talked about it. You have Matthew, Mark, they all kind of expounds upon it. This is the book of Luke, chapter 23 and verse 32. And there were also two other malefactors led with him to be put to death. And when they were come to the place which is called Calvary, they crucified him. And the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then said Yahushua, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots. Let's jump down to verse 46. And when Yahushua cried with a loud voice, he said, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. Having thus said, he gave up the ghost. So we see that it was prophesied in the book of Isaiah 53, but we see where it was fulfilled in the Gospels. Preferably, this is just something I choose. You can go to Matthew 27 and 25. You can go to the book of John. You have many 2 or 3 witness accounts of Christ's crucifixion. So no. Yeah, exactly. All praise, Brother Jose. Hit the like button too. Get the likes up so it can run through the algorithm. It says, so how do we know Luke, John, Matthew, Paul, and then we're telling the truth? How do we know they existed for real? By you have books like the book of Josephus. Like we do extensive study. Like stop playing. You have books like Josephus, who was a first century scholar that literally had an eyewitness accounts to these things. And we tell brothers, yes, it's nothing wrong with books, but you want to make sure that those books filter through the Bible. So you have eyewitness accounts of these things, and you say you are the Most High. You are the Most High and you don't believe the New Testament where some of the things in the Old Testament were fulfilled. That makes no sense. We don't know. Ain't no telling what they got. They probably still got the remains of John the Baptist. Ain't no telling who remains they got out. So yeah, we don't put no trust in that. Ain't no telling. Because we know that Esau loved to collect trophies. So who's to say? Do we have any more questions, brothers and sisters? Brother Jonathan, did you get those precepts? Make sure, brothers and sisters, give me some feedback so I can make sure that y'all have the answers to y'all questions. Brother Bala, did you understand that? Okay, you said con in there. Yeah, if we don't. Malik, what you mean deception never stops? What is the deception? But he's talking about, so why don't my people, the Jewish people, believe? Because y'all ain't the people of God. That's the point. That is hilarious. Because it's literally showing you that y'all not the people of God, man. That's hilarious, man. Aki and Renault says, Shalom, Cop, where can I find the 3 names the Most High God called Christ? What you mean by that, The 3 names? Remember, Christ has many titles. Now, you can find those titles in the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 6. That's how we know, because y'all not the people of God. Because, hey, the Israelites that's out there teaching on the streets, hey, we wholeheartedly believe in Christ, man. I ain't gonna lie, that thing funny as hell. That's why we laugh when Esau come in. He be cutting his damn self up. That's why I allow him to be in here, man. This dude is hilarious, man. This dude is hilarious. Man, I love it to death, man. This is the book of Isaiah. So, yeah, I don't understand what you mean by that, but Christ does have different titles. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 6. And it reads, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. So Christ has many titles. Even when you read in the book of Revelation, chapter 19, it tells you under his vesture, that was the name that no man knew. All praise says that's what it's here for, for brothers and sisters to learn as much as they can. Did you understand that, brother Renard? Want to make sure. Did you understand that, brother Renard? Brother Jose says, I got a question. Do the Sadducees believe in a Messiah? They're the ones who don't believe in the spirit returning, right? Let's get there right quick. Let's go to the book of Acts. Let's get that. Well, I'm talking about, man, this stuff is disappearing. Let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 23 and verse 8. This is the book of Acts, chapter 23 and verse 8. For the Sadducees say there is no resurrection, neither angel nor spirit, but the Pharisees confess both. So the Sadducees didn't believe in resurrection. They didn't believe in angels or the spirit, meaning the Holy Spirit was guiding people in the understanding of the scriptures. You got that out? What is that? I think it's on this side too. That's another one that I'm looking for too. So no, they didn't believe in the resurrection. They said, I got a question. Do the Sadducees believe in the Messiah? Some of them probably believe, but they didn't believe that he would resurrect. And they didn't believe in the angels or the spirit. It's another one that I'm looking for too. Can't read. It looked like 20 and 27, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that is what I want. This is the book of Luke, chapter 20 and verse 27. Then came to him certain of the Sadducees, which deny that there is any resurrection. And they asked him, saying, Master, Moses wrote unto us, if any man's brother die having a wife, and he die without children, that his brother should take a wife and raise a seed unto his brother. So we see that the Sadducees, they just didn't believe in people being brought back. They didn't believe in the resurrection of Christ. They didn't believe in the angels, and they didn't believe in the spirit. So they believed in the Messiah, right, Captain? Now, I would say yes, because it don't say it in there. Some of them believed, but we know that majority of the scribes and the Pharisees, they were wicked, you know. But some of them did. Let me prove that too. And like we say, as we talk, I just kind of get more and more precepts. Acts chapter, it's expedient that some die. Paul Stone. It was expedient that one should die. Going into Agabus. Nope. What is that? 10 and 5 Jerusalem. It's not what I want. Something wrong with you. Damn, where is that precept? Is it Romans 7? One of you precept princes and princesses, where it was expedient for one to die. I didn't want to look it up here. Pretty sure. What you mean? It says they didn't believe then and they play now. Please read it all. People see that this. What are you talking about? Deep in their soul, they know it's true. People are blind and dead. I'm waking you up. What are you talking about? Melly Mel, do you want me to give you a link so we can talk about this? I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure he ain't gonna read it and explain it. Just say it was future prophecy. It says they gonna get y'all washed up. I promise. Now, Melly Malik, hey, you want a link so I can click you in? I can give you a link. Do you want a link? I can put it in and we can talk about it because I don't understand what you're saying. Thanks, babe. Thank you. Thank you, boy. Thank y'all. Thanks, sis. Thank y'all. I'll praise y'all in the spirit. I know my wife just said it. Yeah, click the link out. It's on there. Nah, I'd probably doing some other stuff. He probably got to get up. He got it in there. But Zion, Abraham, you ain't scoffing on you, man. Come on, brother. Let Officer Yaakov do his job. He ain't ran off. That brother have a family to attend to. So, yeah, go ahead and click the link. I just put it in there. Melly Malek. We most definitely could talk about Isaiah 53. I don't understand what you're saying. You think Isaiah 53 was already fulfilled? I mean it. So I'll put the link in there and put it in there again. Put that thing in there again, man. It says the names of the three holy children in Apocrypha are their original Hebrew names, and the names in the book of Daniel are the names of Nebuchadnezzar. That's right, Azariah. Yeah. They say, let's get this thing popping. Shit, bring Captain J Ball up in here, man. Tell I to get on up in this thing. We can deal with it. Come on, Melly Malik. Come on, man. You know that's up our alley, man. We ain't the battle axes for nothing, man. Hey, we take questions, comments, and smoke, man. Shit, I'll put it up in there again. Captain J Ball, you gonna click in? Shoot. I say you want some of this smoke. Go on, click the link. Captain J Ball, go on, get up in this thing, man. Hey, don't make us start pulling precepts on you, man. The wicked flee when no man pursueth thee, man. But the righteous are bold as a lion, man. It says you guys need to debate an Old Testament. We have. They done been defeated. That's why there's no more other people to contend with. Old Testament Israelites, they be getting their doctrines smashed to smithereens. Yeah, come on, click the link. Come on with it, man. All praises. All praises, man. Shalom, Mark. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, Shalom.
All praise. So what are you? What's your name?
Malek.
Malek. All praise. What are you, an Old Testament Israelite, brother?
I'm an Israelite.
So what you believe everything was fulfilled in the book of Isaiah 53?
So I believe everything in the Bible.
So yeah, what was your contention? What
My
don't
question
you
is, can you explain Isaiah chapter 53 to me?
Okay, let's get there right quick. Let's go to it. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 53. So we understand this is the prophet Isaiah
Hmm?
giving us prophecies concerning Christ. Let's read this right quick.
Isaiah 53, before you start, Isaiah 53, when it first started, it starts with a question. It says, who has believed our report?
That's right. Huh?
It's a report that already happened. But you could go ahead though.
Yeah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, and verse 1, and it reads, who had believed our report? So this is Isaiah
This
doing what? He's asking a question, like how you said.
hmm
It
hmm
says, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? So
hmm
this is Isaiah doing what? Finna reveal something to the Israelites. And it's
hmm
basically going into prophecy. Verse 2, for he shall grow up before him as a tender plant and as a root out of a dry ground. He had no form, no comeliness. And when we shall see him, meaning future tense, there is no beauty that we should desire him. So who do you think this is talking about?
Well, before him as a tender plant and as a root of the dry ground. What verse are you on?
Verse 2.
Mine says, "For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of the dry ground. He has no form or comeliness, and when we see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him."
So
Okay,
who do you think that's talking about?
it's talking about the Lord, obviously.
Which one? What you mean? Bro, I mean, make it simple. You talking about the Most High or who or Christ?
Yes,
It's talking about Christ.
of course.
Yeah, so we agree there.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3, it says he was despised and rejected of men.
Hold on.
Amen.
They're talking past tense, correct?
It says, is it talking? No, this is future tense because Christ is not on the scene yet. Remember,
He
Isaiah takes
despised.
place. Hold on, right quick. Isaiah takes place in about 720 BC. This was about 700 years before Christ even walked the earth.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's prophecy. Remember, the Most High God give us prophecy on things that He's going to do in the future. So
Okay,
we know that Christ wasn't physically on the earth right now, right?
I understand. I like.
So
Okay,
what part do you have a contention with? Go ahead.
my thing, right?
Uh-huh.
I hear what you're saying after we read, but when
Yeah.
you clearly just read the scripture, they explain themselves. So my question is, after you read all the scriptures, they pretty much explain themselves. Even verse number 8, it
No,
says,
no, we're gonna walk it down. Read verse 3 again. We're gonna walk all the scriptures
Read
down.
verse 2 again. It
We'll
says,
read verse 2.
when we see him,
That's
right?
right.
We can't skip over the part. So what was that going into when he said when we see him?
when we see him, you know how like in the New Testament, right? When we seen him, what did everybody do? They didn't believe until it was too late.
So what was the question? So is the question that he died in the Old Testament or in the New Testament?
Okay, when I read Isaiah chapter 53, I guess this is my question. I'm asking you to explain Isaiah chapter 53 to me after reading it. We can go verse by verse.
Yeah, that's right. We will.
We can go.
Because I'm gonna tell you, even by your own admission, you
Mm-hmm.
literally just answered your own question. You just literally said in the New Testament. So
I
it's
understand that. In the New Testament, what is it doing? It's explaining to you the history of what happened. First, it go into the genealogy, like because everybody didn't believe in Christ.
uh-huh.
Everybody rejected him. So in the New Testament, it start with the genealogy, and then you got Matthew, Mark, and Luke, John, all of them explaining what happened.
Uh-huh.
So when I read Isaiah 53 and I go through it, I see
Uh-huh.
where it could be two different understandings. I see where it could be a future prophecy, then I also see where it's happening right now.
Okay, a question. One question.
Mm-hmm.
During this time, where were the scribes and Pharisees in Isaiah 53?
That's a good question. You tell me.
No,
Give
it was a
me
damn
knowledge.
good.
Some knowledge. Give me some knowledge. I'm okay with
They
learning.
wasn't there. That's the point that he's asking you. It was like a trick question. They weren't there. They didn't get
So
established. Hold on, right quick. The scribes and the Pharisees didn't start to get established till after the Greek captivity.
That's
That's
right.
the
okay.
point. So even in this is literally showing and pointing to you the prophecies concerning Christ on how he was coming to do these things. Not that he had already done them during the time
Mm-hmm.
of Isaiah, because what would be the point of bringing out a prophecy if it's in that same time? That's not showing the power of the Most High. Remember,
Can you,
prophecies is saying things in the Old Testament that's going to happen in the New Testament.
That's
So
right.
right.
these are going through all the things that Christ had to come and do.
Okay. Can you read verse number 3 for me?
Yes, this is the book of Isaiah, and I'll let you take over, Captain Jeroboam. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 3. He was despised and rejected of men. Who
Him,
was Yeah, we're
him,
gonna stop there. Go ahead.
is that past tense?
No, that's telling you what's to come.
That's right.
No,
Because
despised with
point.
ed in the
So
English language. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Yeah, we
go
got you.
ahead,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
brother. Go ahead.
Despised with an ed in the English language is past tense.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a fact.
That's true. But that don't take over the time period of when Christ came. just because because many scriptures that's quoted in past tense, but did it make it happen right then or for a future prophecy?
I get your argument on that, but I'm asking, he is
So
despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief.
show us in the Old Testament where that precept with Isaiah 53:3.
Genesis. Hold on, let's go back to Genesis.
Let's go.
What is it? Genesis for. Give me a second. Let me see your phone.
I was gonna say, yeah, paraphrase it. We'll find it for y'all. Just
It's talk
paraphrase it.
about, when they talk about Jesus coming in Genesis, and he was prophesied in Genesis.
But hey, I'm gonna tell you, got many times where it's prophesied that Christ is coming. Now we can go to
And
Genesis
if
chapter
we are,
49.
regeneration is real.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
right. Now
100%.
hold up, we can talk about Genesis 49 and verse 10,
Let's see. Hold
where
on.
it makes reference to it.
49:10. Let's see. Is this what I'm looking for? Oh yeah, verse 8. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. So it. Hold on. Let me make sure this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's it. That's referring to Christ.
Okay. So all the way back in the book of Genesis, Jesus was prophesied about.
That's
He
right.
never came until 0 AD. I mean,
Yeah, 0 AD. Yeah,
30. He died in 30 AD.
33 AD or
30.
32 AD, approximately around that era.
Okay,
But
so
remember, that's why I'm asking you, what time period did Isaiah walk in? Do you know the time
I
period that he walked
like
in?
600 BC, right before the Muslims made their Bible.
No, the Muslim, that was 600 AD.
Just,
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah, so that's where you have to get your timelines right.
he was crucified in Egypt, right?
No, he was crucified. It's literally telling you the place in Calvary.
Versus that. The it's a place called Sodom in Egypt, also where your Lord was crucified.
When it talks about that, it's talking about him on a spiritual level, on how his image is crucified.
So,
Because hold up, let me explain. Let me explain right quick.
okay.
Can you hear me out? You still on mute? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear you. Now, what it's talking about in the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8, is talking about his image is crucified, because people don't know Christ as the black Messiah according to the Bible. People over here in America think that Christ is what color? They think
White.
that he's white. That's right. That's how he was crucified. That's on
I,
a spiritual level. You understand that?
I understand that, but it's a where your Lord was crucified.
Remember, hold up. Let me give you some
So was
understanding.
he crucified in Egypt or not?
Hold up. Hebraic phraseology is very metaphoric.
That's
So
right.
some things are literal in the Bible, but a lot of things are spoken in deep sayings and parables. So just because you read something don't necessarily mean that's to be taken literally. Do you understand that? Because
Yes,
I'm
of
gonna
course.
give you a prime example. In the book of Revelation, it tells you that there will be no sun and moon in the kingdom. Is that literal, Art?
Well, according to that, like it's like it would be a sun and moon, but in my opinion,
That
I got different thoughts on that, but I don't want to.
just tell me your initial
I
thoughts so
don't.
we can just get the point right
Yeah,
quick.
I don't want to distract from the
Yeah,
conversation.
I know. I want to get your point, but that's the point that I'm making, that that's not literal. So when you read certain things in the Bible, you have to have a spiritual understanding behind it.
Right.
Everything is not taken literally in the Bible, because if that was the case in the book of Revelation chapter 12, it will be a seven-headed dragon, and we know that
So
that's not the
yeah,
case.
let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
So when they say place called Sodom, I don't know the verse, but Egypt where your Lord was
Yeah,
crucified.
I know what you're talking about. Revelations 11 and 8.
Y'all just got what is it?
Revelations 11 and 8.
But the thing is, you went to John Revelator. We asked you to find something in the Old Testament what you precept with Isaiah 53 and 3.
That's right.
That was the initial question.
Yeah,
Right?
yes. But we went. What's your name, Captain Benaniah
Yeah, Captain Benaniah and Captain Jeroboam.
and Captain Jeroboam?
Uh,
We took it a little different, but
no, I understand what you're saying, but that's not literal. That's the point that I'm making. I understand the point that you're making. Since it
so
says that he was crucified in Egypt, you believe that he was crucified in Egypt.
no. I'm asking you. So where was he? Where was Jesus crucified at? Is my
In
question.
in Jerusalem,
Right.
in a place called Calvary.
So that was spiritually Sodom and Egypt too.
No, when it's talking about spiritually Sodom and Egypt, it's talking about over here in America.
That's right.
You can't group that over there. Because remember, we didn't deal with those things. You know,
I,
you physically had a
I,
place called Sodom and Gomorrah over there in the Middle East, or what we would call today over there by Israel. But Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8, because I'm gonna read that right quick. Not to distract from the point. We remember what the point is, but we're gonna go to this. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8. Because even like Captain Jeroboam said, you have to show us in the Old Testament where that happened. And I'm gonna get Og back
so
in. Hold on, let me read this
Jesus
right
was.
quick because there's some key points in here to show you. This is the book
Mhm.
of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually, and that's the key word right there, Og. Spiritually doesn't mean literally. That's the point. When something is spiritual, you see it what on a spiritual level. You don't see it on a physical level.
Right.
Is which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. Meaning America is called Sodom and Egypt because what? They deal in homosexuality here. And Egypt because they had us in captivity like we were in captivity in Egypt. That's why it's making that reference. And that's why it's saying spiritually, not physically.
Mhm. I understand that, but spiritual go to physical. We know that, right? Everything spiritual has to reflect in the physical. Like the
Not
spirit.
no that not that's the point. Not every time. That's the point.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying like, spiritual reflects to physical at some point. Just like Jesus was spiritual, but he had flesh.
Yeah, we understand
And
that part.
let me shut my phone down, y'all.
We
All right,
hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. But
all
that's
right,
the point. The point that we're making that was spiritual.
right. Can we get back to
Yeah,
I,
go. We can go back. Go ahead.
Just like we see in Isaiah chapter 53. And he said he was despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrow and acquainted with grief. We hid as it were our face from him, and he was despised and we esteemed him not. This right here took in place in Mark chapter 8, verse 31, right? Because all of these things precept with so many different things that happen. Like even when King David prophesied about him in Psalm chapter 22, right? When he's talking about he was going to be compared with dogs and they was going to pierce him, right? All these things right here was connecting the dots going back to Christ. That's why Christ said, "Lo, I come in the volume of the book because it was written of me," right?
mm-hmm.
So when we go to Mark chapter 8 and verse 31, like you say, these things like
Can we
precept
read? I
things,
understand where you
like
going. Like I'm
so.
sorry, oh, I'm sorry.
Appreciate you for knowing, letting us know where we going.
Yeah,
But
but
the
I
point is,
say
you
what?
got
Hold up, Ak. We gonna let Captain Jeroboam finish. Then we get you back here, and we gonna cover
yeah,
it, Ak. We got time, Ak. We
yeah, we
gonna
do
cover this thing line by line, Ak.
real because we had like you when we covered it, like you say, we going in Mark, but for the edification purpose, I'm gonna read it anyway. All right, Mark chapter 8 and verse 31. And he began to teach them, and the Son of Man suffered many things, which is saying the same thing in Isaiah 53, and be rejected of the elders and of the chief priests and the scribe, and be killed, and after 3 days rise again, right? So
Mhm.
if we doing these things, like I said, all of these was going into the prophecies of for Christ to come, right? Even
Mhm.
Isaiah, right? He wrote of things of Christ to come to King David, right? Just like Moses and all the rest of the prophets, they wrote the things to come for Christ to come. Even us, when we prophesy for what? For things for Christ to come back to redeem us out of captivity, right?
Right. Right.
Go ahead.
So this is not to cut you off, but you made a good point about redeem us out of captivity, because this is like our, I don't know how many captivities we've been in, you know.
We've been in 7 minor, 7 major captivities. You had the
14 captivities.
Egyptian, Assyrian, Babylonian, Persian and Mede, the Greek captivity, the Roman captivity, now the American captivity.
Did Christ save us out of all captivities?
No, Christ hadn't saved us yet. That's why we still in captivity.
So
You hold
who
up.
saved us out of Egypt?
Do you have to go to work tomorrow?
No. Who saved us out of Egypt?
No, hold up. Answer my question right quick. Do you
I
have a
said,
job?
no, I'm good. I'm good
No,
on money.
no. I'm not. I'm asking. Well, hold up. Do you pay taxes?
What they gotta do with anything?
My point that I'm making, if we're paying taxes and working, we are still in captivity. That's my point.
Yeah, I understand that. I
Yeah.
understand that. But I'm asking, who saved us out of Egypt captivity?
Yeah, the Most High God saved us out of the Egypt captivity, but this is also spiritually Egypt. That's the point. I think you mixing it up, because,
No.
like you said, we were saved out of physical Egypt, but are we in Egypt right now? No, we're over here in America.
So
And the Most
was
High God compares this place to Egypt because they do and have the same traditions that the Egyptians had. That's the
mhm,
point of him saying spiritually Sodom and Egypt are. So Christ wasn't actually crucified in Egypt. Like you said,
mhm,
you can literally go and do the history on that, like how
mhm.
the scriptures is saying. I think you kind of mixing them up. So
I'm
let's
just
get
asking
up.
questions.
Hold on.
I'm
Let me ask you
asking
something basic,
questions.
real quick.
Okay.
So is you saying that Isaiah 53, Christ was crucified in Isaiah 53?
I'm asking.
No, it wasn't. That's what Captain Jerubal brought it out.
Can
Even
we?
when I read in the book of Luke, chapter 23, let's literally get there right quick to literally show you where Christ died. Let's
Okay.
get there. We'll come right back. Let's go to the book of Luke. I literally just read that. The book of Luke, chapter 23. We're going to start at verse 32. Then we're going to jump down to verse 46.
Yeah, Luke chapter. Luke chapter what?
23 and verse 32.
32.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 23 and verse 32. And there were also 2 other malefactors led with him to be put to death. And
Mm-hmm.
when they would come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then said Yahushua, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So we see where Christ was crucified, right? Well, in the
Right.
book of Luke.
Right.
Prove it even more. We're going to jump down to verse 46. Verse 46. And when Yahushua had cried with a loud voice, he said, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. And having said thus, he gave up the ghost. So we
Okay.
literally see Christ
Let me
what?
ask you this question. When you go to Matthew chapter 1, verse 13, where did Joseph take Jesus?
Yeah, he took him to Egypt. He took him to Egypt to hide. He didn't die there. That's the point. He took him to hide, but then he came back.
That's right.
Let's get there right quick. Remember, with all you're getting,
I
you got to get a
understand. I
good
understand.
understanding.
I'm just trying to paint a little picture.
I'm gonna read this. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse. No,
Yeah,
this is
that's
the book of Matthew, chapter 2 and verse
13.
13.
Mm.
Matthew chapter 2, verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother into Egypt, and be thou until I bring thee word for Herod, for he will seek the young child to destroy him. So he got specific orders out to
Mm-hmm.
take the child Christ into Egypt to do what? To hide from King Herod, because he
Right.
was trying to kill him for a time. And
Right.
then once he got word, he did what? He brought him back
Right? Because
into
verse,
Right.
Jerusalem, into
verse 9.
Israel.
Right. Right. Now, can we go back? Since we on that topic, Can we go back to what
Hold on,
verse?
hold on. Let me get Captain Jerbow. Go ahead,
I
Okay.
said jump down to verse 19. It shows you when he went back, when he left Egypt, so he didn't die in.
Right. But so basically the Egyptians wanted to kill him, right?
No, Herod wanted to kill him.
That's
Herod
right.
is an Edomite. He
Okay,
was the
got you.
ruler over Jerusalem.
Right.
He wanted to kill him, not
Okay.
the Egyptians. Remember, he went to hide amongst the Egyptians to hide amongst other dark people.
So the Edomites, I get what your doctrine is.
Right.
Okay.
Hold
What
on, let
verse
me
you
read
want me
this
to
what
go
Captain
to?
Jerbow was saying. Let me read verse 19 where it's showing them coming back.
19 and 20.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 2 and verse 19. It says, but when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and go into the land of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
For they are dead which sought the young child's life.
Mm-hmm.
See what a most high God like Captain Jerbow says, great precept, showing
Mm-hmm.
what the angel called them back into Egypt. So
Right.
he didn't die in Egypt.
Right. Now can we go back to the Revelations?
Yeah, let's go back.
And you said what's the verse spiritually called Sodom and
11 and 8.
living and eat. Living and eat. Okay, living and eat.
So remember the precepts that
And
we brought out
everybody
in
will lie
Luke,
in the
where it's
street.
literally showing where he died in a
Spiritual
place
talk,
called
right?
Calvary.
Well, so Sodom
Not,
and Egypt, basically, Sodom and Egypt is the house of bondage, right?
yes, that's the house of bondage. Those are
Where
similar to
also
that.
our Lord was crucified. So Jesus was crucified in a house of bondage.
No, you're mixing those up, and that's
Okay.
the point. Remember, you got to let the precepts lead your understanding, Ox. So that's why we went to the book of Luke, chapter 23 and verse 32. It literally showed you where he was crucified.
This is the
It's
record
called
of,
Calvary.
so the New Testament basically is the record of what happened. Let's see what happened with Jesus and how it all played out and how it all went down, right?
That's right.
Right. So can we go back to Isaiah 53 and 4?
Yeah, let's go back.
So you don't have a precept for Isaiah 53 and 3, right?
He used to reject about. I mean, yes, it's in the New Testament as well. We already covered that.
No, we didn't cover. No, you didn't
Okay, if we
explain
wrote a Bible
your
today,
Old Testament where this happened
if we
before.
wrote a New Testament today, what would it say? Would it say y'all rejected Jesus, or would it say y'all accepted him?
But now remember, they had already rejected Jesus. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally that's why I brought that precept out in the book of Mark, chapter 8, verse 31. It's showing you who rejected Christ. The
Right.
scribes and the Pharisees are the ones that rejected Christ,
Mm-hmm.
fulfilling that prophecy in Isaiah 53 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm. So I'm at okay. Let's get back to chapter 53 and 4, I guess.
Okay.
And then after we get done reading all 12, and then it probably gonna like hit home a little more on like what happened in Isaiah
I'm gonna ask you a
53.
question, brother. Do you believe that?
I just read the Bible and then I be like, okay, this is what it say. This what it say. This what it say. This what
So
it say. And I
okay,
gotta believe what it
do
say.
you believe precept upon precept though?
Yes, you gotta. If the Bible tell you to go precept upon precept, here a little, there a
Okay,
little,
so
and
give us.
then you also have to read context as well to get a
Yeah,
more understanding of what actually is going on.
and we
'Cause
agree. We agree 100%. So
mm-hmm.
so also okay. So verse 1, verse 2, and verse 3, we really ain't see a precept from you, but we'll go to verse 4 though. Go ahead.
You need precepts. I thought y'all gave me precepts in the New Testament because that's the only thing you can go to is the New Testament if you want to talk about Jesus.
Okay, that's
Because
right.
in chapter 53, it's a servant. It's a servant. It happened to a servant. But in the New Testament, it's Jesus.
Christ is a servant. He's a
Of
servant of the
course.
Most High.
That's what we
Remember,
saying.
Christ is a servant of the Most High, and also the Israelites are servants, according to Isaiah 44 and 5. So Christ was used as a servant. But we'll
Of
read
course. That's
Isaiah
what we saying.
53 and 4.
We're on the same page on that part.
Let's read. We'll read Isaiah 53 and 4. I'm gonna let Brother Jeremiah deal with it. This is the book of Isaiah 53 and verse 4. Surely he had borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted.
Who that sound like?
That's Christ.
And they're talking past tense, right?
This is given a prophecy. Remember, how can it be past tense? There will be an
A
oxymoron.
prophecy
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. Let
future
me
tense.
explain that. I'm gonna let you get in here.
Okay.
Remember, this is Isaiah. He's speaking this way, talking about things that is coming to pass. Because, like Captain Jerubal said, if you're saying that this is past tense, then you have to show us in the Old Testament where this happened.
Okay.
Isaiah is speaking this way, but it hadn't happened yet.
Right. Okay. I hear you. Okay. So my question is, we all know English,
Yes, we understand
and
English.
we understand present tense, future tense, and past tense.
Uh, uh, do that succeed the context of what we read in? Because we can't negate or we can't negate the fact that said we going they said that somebody was gonna see Christ and they was gonna see him walking, and while they see Christ walking, he's gonna be smitten, he's gonna be afflicted. It goes into, once we read down, it goes into everything. When people start seeing Christ on the scene, it's gonna go into everything that's gonna happen to Christ when he hit the scene.
Okay. Let's read verse 5.
All right, let's read verse 5.
Let's when we get to a past tense words, can you please say that's a past tense word?
It doesn't prove your point though. That's the
Yeah, it
point.
doesn't, because hold up, you are still missing the point. If you are saying that this already happened, show us in the Old Testament where it happened, If you
Read
can
it.
show us where this happened, we'll
Okay.
believe it.
Okay. Let's read number 5, please.
Verse 5, it says, "But he was wounded for our transgressions."
Who was wounded for wounded is past tense. Wounded for our transgressions, right?
Okay, who is that talking about?
Talking about the servant in chapter 53.
Who is the servant?
We know who that is.
No, I want to be.
Okay, it's a future prophecy, as y'all say. It's a future prophecy.
No, listen to what I'm saying. Who do you say it is?
I say it's the Lord.
Okay, then. So if you think that that already happened, show us where it already happened in the
That's
Old Testament.
Okay, we gotta
Just
go
show us
back.
where it happened.
We have to go back. Okay, in my opinion, right? Because it's
Uh-huh.
just my opinion.
Yeah, that's what we want to
We
hear.
discussing my opinion, right?
Yeah.
We discussing something that happened around Egypt, right?
you off,
Yeah, that's. I'm
No,
gonna tell you.
I'm saying, like, isn't Israel next to Egypt?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So we talking about things that happen near or around Egypt.
Okay.
All right.
When we
So
talk about things that happen in Israel.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
but the thing is, you trying to do wordplay instead of going with the scriptures to explain your point.
That's
Listen,
right.
okay, if you just clearly
Uh,
just sit there and read, oh man, it's an argument, really.
no, it's
Just
not an
listen.
argument because we gonna literally go to the scriptures and read where we can
I
find it.
understand, but we never get
We on
it's
word
like
really putting the pieces together.
okay, boom,
That's what the discourse is.
right? Because I understand the precept for precept here a little, there a little, but can we get some context for a minute?
Yeah, that's right. That's what we're trying to do.
Okay, boom. So we're gonna get context. It's only 12 verses.
No, we're gonna go through all of them.
It's only
But
12 verses.
hold on, let
12
me read
verses.
verse 5 again. It says, "But he was wounded for our transgressions." Who was wounded? Christ was wounded. Where was he wounded at? In the New Testament.
But the New
Literally,
Testament is explaining what happened in the Old Testament.
no, it's explaining what's going to happen, but it actually happened in the New Testament.
What the New Testament wrote after the shit happened. I mean, after it happened.
No,
Oh,
it happened. It was written in the Old Testament, and it happened in the New.
Right. So when did they start writing as soon as Jesus died? That's when the New Testament came.
we
Or
gonna
did they have to write
let me try
afterward?
to help your defense out a little bit. Let me help your defense out a little bit, right?
Don't help my defense, I'll help yours too.
Let's go to Second Samuel chapter 7. This is King David. Well, this is Nathan the prophet prophesying to King David, right?
Mm-hmm.
Telling King David exactly what Isaiah chapter 53 and verse 5 is saying, right? So
That's
the
the
book of
song.
Second chapter 7 and verse 14. No, I'm gonna start at verse 13. He said, he shall build a house for my name, and I will establish his throne of his kingdom forever, and I will be his father. He shall be my son, Salaki. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. Right. So what this goes into Christ being smitten, right? Going on the cross, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but this actually in the New Testament precept with First Peter chapter 2 and verse 24, right? I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
read that out. All right. Watch this. The book of First Peter, chapter 2 and verse 24. Right? It said, no, matter of fact, yes, verse 24. He said, who his own self bear our sins in his own body on the tree, that we being dead to sin should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye ye were healed. So we know that this was Christ bear the iniquity and the sins for us, for the children of Israel.
Right.
Right?
That's what it say. Oh, I got a precept for you. That's what
Yeah,
it say.
I'm actually
And
build a case because brother, you ain't building no case right now.
I
So I'm
got
trying.
I got you. I'm got a precept for what you just read.
Okay, let's go.
Isaiah 53 and verse number 6.
That's exactly what we had.
So what I'm saying is, oh, that's what we at right now. I thought you was reading something else.
I'm look at I'm reading. Look here, I know how to I'm trying to look here. Look, I'm literally trying to give you precepts to help you build your case.
Right. And then when you go back to you went back. Now I'm going back to Isaiah 53, verse 6.
So you didn't give us another precept for so 5 scriptures we read and you didn't give us a precept. Now we on verse 6. You're gonna give us a precept. Let's go.
Okay, Isaiah 50. I'm giving you a precept to what you read. Because you said, okay, you went back farther in the Old Testament, back toward Genesis. Now I'm going back towards Isaiah. Back to Isaiah 53 and 6, and it say the same thing.
Just
Yeah. Yeah, y'all see what I'm saying. Y'all know y'all
I
see.
don't see what you're saying.
I don't
Nah,
see
we
you
I
can't.
don't,
the
because
reason
I'm a,
why I read them precepts out like that is to try to help you, show you, hey, you want the precept with the old, it was prophesied in the old what's to come, the new.
Okay, let's skip all of that. When do we
Now
get to
we
Isaiah 53 and 12?
precept that you not giving us understanding about.
Okay,
Right?
I get you. I get you. I'm just gonna say, um, I'm done with that portion of it, I guess.
no, we can just keep reading down because we want to walk you down on this art.
You
Verse,
ain't walk. The thing is, I just want to know. I just got one last question.
what's
When
that?
Isaiah 53 and 12, when do we get to that scripture?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 12. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he had poured out of his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors. So when do you think that happened?
Okay, I'm talking about, okay, when you read the first two lines, when do we get to that part? Because we know that y'all gonna say the last four lines happen in the New Testament. But when do we get to the part where it say, therefore I will divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoils with the strong? When do we get to that part of that future prophecy?
Let's go get it. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37 and verse 22. And it reads, I'm going to start at verse 21. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37 and verse 21. And I say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen,
Mm-hmm.
whether they be gone, and I will gather them on every side, and
Mm-hmm.
shall bring them into their own land. and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. So this is the Most High God putting the 12 tribes back together, bringing us into our homeland, Israel. And one king shall be king over them. Who is that one king? That
Christ.
one king is Christ. It
Right.
says they shall be no more two nations, because right now we're divided. You got northern and the southern tribe. Christ is going to come back, put us back together. We're going to be one nation of Israel. It says, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols, because we're still doing this right now. We have some brothers going off in the northern tribe and the southern tribe, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of their dwelling places wherein they have sinned. I will cleanse them, going into the new covenant, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God. And David, my servant, shall be king over them. When it talks about King David, who is it making reference to? It's making reference to Christ, because he comes out of the lineage of King David. It says, and they all shall have one shepherd. That one shepherd is Christ, according to John chapter 10, verse 14. It says, and they shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt. They shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever. For my servant David shall be their prince forever. So this is literally giving you the end time prophecy of, guess what, when these things are going to happen and how they're going to happen. We know it ain't
Right.
happening right now, because guess what? We still over here in America. We're not over there in
Right.
our homeland. So the Most High God has to send Christ, gather the 12 tribes out of this land. The nuclear bombs hit, then we are brought back over to Israel. So
Right.
that's making reference to the top half of Isaiah 53 and verse 12. Those things go in and out of time. You want to literally put them in chronological order, but that's not how the scriptures read. That's why Captain
Right.
Jerubal was literally saying, get the context, because when you read the bottom half, it goes back into his crucifixion.
That's right.
Y'all want to know why I take this so serious?
I mean, you should. It's the truth.
On it. You see my
What is that?
birthmark that I woke up with? It looked like an arrow.
So you saying
I
you
got
Christ?
pierced in my side and shit.
So,
You already know.
you thinking you Christ or something?
You see
Is that
that?
what
You know who I am. Everybody knows who I am.
you
All
tell
the
us who
leaders
you
know who
are?
I am.
Are you not saying you Christ, or
What, you gonna come try to kill me again?
are you saying
That's
you Christ?
what punishment was. What saying was,
Hey, if you was Christ, why you don't know no scriptures, man?
what you mean? We had this conversation last time.
But then
You said
you
you
bugged
was
out and
like,
crazy
let me
thing,
show,
bro.
let me show you what you went off at.
What I
You
went
was
off.
don't sound like men in waters, right?
You said what?
When last time we talked, you was like, why your voice don't sound like men in waters? And when you think about men in waters, right, just think about a river, right? You got
Yeah,
springs,
you
you
was
got
wrong,
rivers.
brother Hosea.
Hold on. You got
No.
springs,
I'm gonna let you talk. I'm talking to brothers in the
you got,
comments.
you got rivers, you got creeks. There's many different types of way you can talk. And then you got to understand when Christ was talking, right? He talked to many different people in many different ways. No different how everybody else do. But yes, did I say who I was? I did.
Okay, so let me ask you: if you Christ, why are we still in captivity, brother?
You
You're
For real.
supposed to do what the scriptures
know,
say. So when you gonna save us from captivity, brother?
whenever the elders stopped playing,
Whenever who?
whenever everybody in Israel stopped playing, pretty much.
Well, no, that's not what the scriptures say. The scriptures say that, guess what? Christ is gonna come. If you on the earth, you
Coming
supposed to be
back,
coming. Let me read this right quick. This
coming
is the
back,
book. Let
coming
me
back
read
in
this.
the
Let
clouds
me
as
read
a
this right quick. Christ, come on, brother. If you don't want to reach your own words, this is
don't
the
mark,
book of Matthews, chapter
don't mark,
24
mark.
and verse
Don't be
5.
a don't
Let
be
me
a
read this. It says, for many shall come in my name, saying,
don't
I
be a
am Christ, and shall deceive many. So you're gonna have to show us some miracles or something, brother. You're gonna have to walk on some water.
hold on.
You're gonna have to call some chariots down. You're gonna have to prove to us, brother, that you Christ, brother.
Ain't
Because
that
if not, I'm gonna believe what the scriptures say
what they
that
did?
many gonna come in his name
Ain't
and
that what they did in
deceive
the New Testament?
many, brother.
Ain't that what they did in the New Testament?
See,
Yes, yes or no?
this the point. I, I,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, man.
Tell
It's,
me.
it's. Why did you get on this? Why did you get on the thing the last time and bug out like you did if you was Christ? You think Christ got all in his feelings and
Great,
emotions
terrible God.
out of his
He's a,
head, or was he bringing the oracles of God to the people?
he's a great and terrible God.
But was you bringing the oracles of God, or was you just going crazy, man?
That's right.
A little bit of both. That's what we gonna do in the end. Go
But
crazy.
Christ didn't bring a little bit of both. Christ only said the oracles of God, man.
That's
When he
right.
was flipping tables, he wasn't going crazy.
But that was the oracles of God because they was selling, they was doing all kind of stuff in God's house, man.
Okay, boom. Let's say this. When Christ come back, right? Revelation 16 and verse
Wait a minute. Hold up, Ak. You just said you was Christ. So now you talking about when you come back, brother. You talking in
hold
you
on. Let
being
me
double minded, Ak. Come on, brother.
know Christ was born on earth like every other human, correct?
Yes, but he's back up there with the Father, Ak. That's the point.
He had to be a baby on earth, correct?
Yes, but he's back up there with the Father, Ak.
Of course. Anyway, when we get to Revelation 16 and 15, can you read that for me?
Yeah, this is the book of Revelations, chapter 16 and verse 15. And it reads, Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
Get your swords ready.
Yeah, brother bugged out. And that's what we tell brothers and sisters, man. You have to watch out for brothers, man. Brothers be bugged out in Israel. And the thing is, Proverbs 28 and 1, the wicked flee when no man pursue it. Most High God literally have this. And he was asking, and he literally cut his own self. How do we know when these things gonna happen? Well, brother, you just expose your own damn self by Matthews 24 and 5. He literally have a brother on here claiming that he's Christ, raising up his damn shirt, bugged the hell out. And Christ warned us about that, brothers and sisters. And he literally showed us to it in real time. That's why we tell brothers and sisters, y'all better take this truth serious. Most High God is showing us signs even right now in real time. And he think that that was for his good, man. We just, and I know brothers and sisters over here, man, we got to pray for our people, man. Because I'm going to read this right quick. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 28. Y'all know we bring it out all the time. The Lord shall smite thee with madness
Boy.
and blindness and astonishment of heart, man. That brother is bugged the hell out. And as he kept talking, I did remember that's who he was on with Captain Jeroboam and Captain Yar when they was trying to do the debate. And brother had them spirits on and they had to kick the brother up out of the chat.
Yes, brother. Brother already gone, man.
Hey, who you asking, twins? We asking who the hell? We know. That's why we be patient with them spirits. They'll show their true colors. That's why I know. I'm gonna tell you, brother Jose, you got a lot to learn. C in the chat, they was on point. You know, they knew for the jump, brother was a scoffer. You know, because a lot of times, hey, we're entertaining it to a degree for edification purposes for brothers and sisters, man.
But we already knew, brother, for him to be Christ, saying he Christ, man, it's so much stuff that is not,
Bro,
bro. This is madness, man.
yeah, he is, sis. Brother Dunn, Israel. Yeah, that's right. He one of y'all Jews, false prophets, false disciples. But shoot, they gonna have a controversy because shoot, y'all Jews say he Christ, so they gonna be up in that congregation banging.
Watch this, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 14. And the Lord said unto me, the prophet that prophesied lies in my name, I sent them not,
That's
neither
right.
I commanded, neither spake unto them. They prophesied unto you false visions and divination and the things of not, and the deceit of their heart, man.
Right.
Like this brother was gone with the wind, man. I'm just glad he didn't go crazy like he did the last time. He just exited the stage. Dang it.
And even in there, hey, the wicked flee with no man pursueth thee,
Boy,
man.
I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, Israel, y'all be on the hey, guard your spirits, man. These damn doctrines that's out here,
They said
guard
it's
your spirits out here, man. Guard your spirits, man. Let me get this quick precept, man. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 10, and it reads, Be steadfast in thy understanding, and let thy word be the same. Hey, the understanding that brothers and sisters are getting right now, you have to let those things be the same and confirm these things precept upon precept. He talking about he Christ, but he don't know the scriptures to go to since he the word made flesh. That don't even make no damn sense, man. Oh yeah, that's the precept. Verse 9. Winnow not with every wind, and go not into every way, for doth the sinner that had a double tongue. And that's what the brother was doing, being double-minded, speaking with a double tongue, putting on a show, man. But the Most High God gonna give him what he want, man.
yeah. Boy, he already, boy, I'm talking about. That's a curse, man, the Lord put on him, man. Like, man, that's a living curse to see our people, man, that going off like that, man. That's that Deuteronomy 28:28, man.
Boy, that is.
Right? Saying the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishing the heart, man. This brother smitten like a mug, man.
He is out. Hey, brothers and sisters, got any other questions? Well,
Hey,
before we get up out of here, brother bugged out.
that was a good Sunday nightcap right there. Huh?
Yeah, it was. Like I can't. That's when the brothers and sisters could laugh before they go to sleep, man. Before they throw them prayers up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's a good precept. I would choose the delusions, man.
Boy,
Isaiah 66 and 4, and
boy.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Second
can't.
Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 11. So yeah, nah, don't block nobody, Officer Yaakov. I told y'all, man. Hey, we take all fire, and
All smoke. Right?
all fire, all smoke.
Just because cats don't
Man,
come in the comment, don't think that we ain't looking.
yeah, for real. Cause I popped on there as soon as this scoffing behind popped up. I seen Jeremiah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he instantly click him in, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you all right, sis. We totally understand, man. But it's not to say that we still don't have compassion on our people. Hey, judge the spirit by the spirit, man. That's all you can do, man.
Right.
Uh, we always tell brothers and sisters to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So we always like to read a law. Uh, uh, brothers and sisters, y'all got some laws. Put them in the chat, man. Put them in the chat if y'all got some laws, man. Trying to think of one for his wicked behind, man. His brother there was here.
Chapter in verse 3.
Read that out.
Yeah, the book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 3. After the doing of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwell, shall ye not do, and after the doing of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in the ordinance, right? So the Lord said he said when he brings us into the land of Canaan, or if we in Egypt, the Lord said don't do like they doing.
For real. Hey, with that, give our honor to the Most High and His Son Yahweh Shah. Say Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.